Looking for anyone, it's someone by my side. Please tell me it's alright. Yeah, look into my eyes and hold me through the night. Just tell me it's alright. So you come and be that fever. Hot love is that I get a fever, baby. Believer, baby. Believer, baby. Believer, baby. Believer, I get a fever, baby. Whenever you're around, I'm fine. I get a fever, baby. Whenever you're around, I'm fine. My heart's on fire. Don't you know that I want it? Don't you know that I need it? Put off my mind. Oh, why? I get a fever, baby. Whenever you're around, I'm fine. Don't you come and be a fever. Hot love is that I need. So you come and be a fever. Hot love is that I need. I get a fever, baby. Whenever you're around, I'm fine.
Oh, baby, you can free my mind and nothing's gonna take control. I need something that I could never find, boy, you got it and it ain't for sure. Hey, oh, baby, won't you take my hand and never ever let me go? But it's time for us to take our stand, show the world that we're a miracle. That's all I wanted from you, a little more attitude. Oh, how can I refuse? 'Cause you're the one that I choose. 'Cause all I wanted from you was for our love to come through. There's nothing else I can do, but you're the one that I choose.
And this is what it's like to get us back on track.
But I mean, but this song is so good.
Oh, I know. That's the problem is every time I play music, I just vibe. And I'm just like, yeah, do I have to stop this right now?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, hey, it's a vibe. We're a vibe tonight.
Unfortunately, I do have to stop this magical beauty that is drum and bass. By the way, if you guys are interested in the song, it's called All I Wanted by Bensley and Sky L. Giving you guys that right now.
They sound like a Norwegian pop group.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's EDM.
I know, I just like, it totally sounds like a Norwegian pop group.
Right, Bensley and Sky L. It's exactly a Norwegian.
Oh, hello, I'm Bensley.
We're ready to do some more music. We got a show to do. Okay. Here we come.
Distance nerding.
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
Heidi ho!
It is time. It is the return of your boy, the Island Boy.
That's right.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's Tuesday, and you know what that means. You are now watching and listening and tasting Distance Nerding, part of the Comic-Con Radio podcast family. Oh, but she's Frey Girl.
I mean, and he, of course, is Island Young Boy Phil.
Yeah. And we're here to nerd
out
together.
Together.
Close enough.
I'm on a lot of shows.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah. It's like, which one am I on right now? I don't
I know it's
remember which
nerding.
show it was.
I'm nerding something.
Some
Nerding.
kind of nerd something, right?
James and I did it perfectly last week. We were in sync and everything. I got to get back to that.
I bet.
I go back to the gym.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking everything, anything, whatever it is, pop culture, movies, music, food, wrestling, comics, whatever you're nerding out on, we want to talk about it. Now, you got to follow us on the Instagram, on the Facebook, on the Twitter, on the Twitch, on the YouTube, on the Discord, all of the places, all at Distance Nerding.
Yeah, absolutely. Follow us. Not too closely, but follow.
Yeah, just stalking does not.
I have 3 dogs and they follow real close.
Right.
I just don't need anybody else following me that close.
Right. And of course, guys, you can always email us at distancenerding@aol.com. I got to do that one for you every time. I know.
I know. It's so awesome.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this week on deck, we've got the GEEKEND update.
Yeah. Yeah, we do. We also have lights, camera, reaction.
Now,
you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
We're going to bring back Tales from the Thick. Ladies and gentlemen, the Galactic Showdown, Volume 2, Outlaws and Allies.
Outlaws and Allies. Well, that sounds pew, pew, pew. Fantastic.
I know.
Then we're going to start some rumors because, I like to start me some rumors.
Is the darkside joining the MCU?
Did it ever leave?
I know, right? Of course, the whole reason that you're here, we've got the download.
The download.
Are we getting a waffle pizza sized crossover?
But that would be delicious.
I know, right? Waffle pizza on a waffle.
Or waffle on a pizza. Either way.
I'm okay with that too. Have you ever had a breakfast pizza?
I have. They are fantastic.
I know, right? So just imagine like a breakfast pizza and then you add a waffle on top, but it has to be a Belgian waffle. Like give me the thickness of all the carbs.
Exactly. I mean, if you're gonna do a waffle on pizza, you want it to be carb-tastic.
Exactly. And then, of course, we're finishing off the show with the breakdown.
Oh, yes. I'm so excited for the breakdown. I have so many Mando conspiracies. No, I really don't. I actually don't have any.
Right. Mucho Mandos, the finale of Mandalorian Season 3. And we're going to be talking about it here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. But
it is delicious.
Right. Exactly that. Now, before we get into all of that, of course...
But first,
let me get a shout out.
Every time. I fall for it every time. All right. First, we want to shout out to Poddex. In fact, this episode is powered by Poddex. That's right. We're powered by Poddex. Poddex are a unique interview questions and episode starting prompts in the palm of your hand. And you can do some amazing card tricks with them. Let me tell you.
Oh,
yeah. Close-up magic all the way. If you are a new podcaster or existing broadcaster looking to grow your audience or get more engagement, level up with Poddex and check out poddex.com. Let me say that again. Poddex.com. Now you're going to want to use our code nerding10 to get 10% off of those amazing pod decks and the close-up magic that you will perform at some point.
I mean, I can verify the close-up magic. I've seen Matt do it on the show. So, I mean, now he's here, now he's not. And why?
Exactly.
Because he's playing Destiny. Actually, tonight he's not. He's doing he's doing trivia with Bruce Campbell.
Yeah, I know. He got 13th.
Freaking lucky.
I know, right?
I know.
I'm not jealous. Not at all.
Not at all. Not at all. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, if the show is brought to you by DUBBY, then what powers young Phil and all of his boisterousness and just kind of the fun that is the young Phil? I'm going to tell you what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, It's DUBBY. Yes, DUBBY's an emerging brand of energy drinks created to help focus, concentration, reaction time with no jitters or crash. DUBBY contains no maltodextrin, no sugars, no fillers, no artificial colors or dyes, and is keto friendly. DUBBY contains Neurofactor, a nootropic derived from the coffee fruit. Neurofactor gives your brain helps give your brain focus and clarity, while the 150 milligrams of caffeine and 3 essential B vitamins help you stay alert and energized. Ladies and gentlemen, find out more about DUBBY at www.dubby.gg. Use the code NERDING10 to get 10% off. Now, before I bust open my flavor that I'm doing tonight, I've got a couple other shout outs that I'm going to do. One more ad read, a new one that we have here, an actual shout out. I'm going to reveal the flavor here in a moment. So that being said, I'm going to do the other ad here. I don't have an ad page for it, so we're just going to kind of put a generic distance nerding.
You're winging it.
I'm winging this one, right? I'm just going to put that up there because I don't have exactly right. I don't have a thing here, but let's get this, ladies and gentlemen. This show is brought to you by Presto Puzzles, the ultimate destination for puzzle enthusiasts of all ages. Are you tired of the same old jigsaw puzzles that just gather dust on your shelves? Looking for a fresh challenge that will boost your brain power while providing hours of entertainment? Look no further. Introducing Presto Puzzles, the one-stop shop for a mind-bending array of puzzles. Our innovative puzzle selection ranges from 3D wooden wonders to cutting-edge interactive digital challenges. What sets Presto Puzzles apart? Glad you asked. Customizable difficulty, whether you're a casual puzzler or a hardcore enthusiast, or our puzzles come with an adjustable difficulty level, perfect for the entire family. Exquisite design. Our team of talented artists and designers have crafted each puzzle with breathtaking visuals, ensuring a mesmerizing experience every time. Eco-friendly materials. We're committed to sustainability. That's why all of our physical puzzles are made from high-quality recyclable materials, and we plant a tree for every puzzle sold. World-class customer support. Got a missing piece or need a hint? Our friendly support team is available 24/7 to help you out. But wait, there's more. As a special offer for our amazing viewers, use the code PUZZLEME at checkout for a whopping 20% off your first order. So what are you waiting for? Head to prestopuzzles.com and dive into the world of brain-teasing fun. Unleash your inner puzzle master today.
I've been called the Sass Master. I don't know if I've ever been called the Puzzle Master.
Puzzle Master. And now back to our regularly scheduled program. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe our fake YouTube page for this amazing content. Ladies and gentlemen, that is not a real product. But it
might be out there somewhere, but
somebody's going to make it. Somebody's going to make that now.
You're going to inspire them.
Now, real shout outs out there, ladies and gentlemen. I do have to shout out someone. So I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about Travis Knott and how he hooked me up with these beautiful first edition Last Ronins, right? So I've got the first 4 Last Ronins right here, right? I'm shouting out Travis specifically, not just because he got me these first editions, but while I was in Hawaii.
By the way, aloha.
Yeah, aloha, mahalo. I come home and I've got a box sitting in my my mailbox, and I'm like, what is this? Pop it open, and it's book number 5.
Ooh,
first edition, book number 5 of The Last Ronin, right? Now,
I think that one is my favorite cover.
Right now, mind you guys, he did not have one. He when we saw him at Gem State Comic Con, and he said that he wasn't able to get a book, and so I told him just like look out for it if you find a first edition, just let me know how much. And I hit him up once I see this, and he goes, "Don't worry about it." He just sent me a first edition book 5 Last Ronin for free.
What?
So the man needs not just a shout out, but just my eternal praise for being the man.
That's awesome.
Because
That is awesome.
the guy is amazing. You guys all have to go and check out Travis Knott. You have to go check out his store. If you guys are in the Oregon area, his shop is in Portland. Let me get the name for you guys real quick, because this is like a straight up, like, you guys need to go check him out. And if not, go to his website. You guys need to buy comics from Travis, because it's like you need to. Now he also is an author. He has his own books and everything like that. But the shop that he runs, what is it? WC Collectibles.
Oh, cool.
So
shout out WC Collectibles.
Shout out to WC Collectibles, guys. Check it out yourself. Go follow them on Instagram. It's WC_collectibles. They're in the, so they're actually in Spokane, Washington.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, much better placement. Spokane's awesome.
Yeah. And they have they specialize in comic books, toys, and other pop culture collectibles. They started a business to increase the scope of their hobby. And again, you know, these dudes, you know, every time we see them, they're super cool. He runs the shop with his dad. So I mean, like, you know, Travis is awesome. So, you know, guys, help support a wonderful guy.
And a local business.
Exactly.
Spokane.
A local business.
Yeah.
Hit them up, guys, for all your comic book and pop culture needs.
Yeah.
There we go.
And, you know, if you were to send, I don't know, any Wonder Woman stuff, I mean,
right.
that'd be okay too. I mean, I'm not telling you how to live.
Especially if you can get that what was that, the Paradise Island book that's coming out?
Oh yeah,
right.
That would be fantastic.
There you go. Right.
Oh yeah, that would be really good.
There we go. But guys, that being said, shout outs all out there. It is time. It is time for the GEEKEND
I did it last week.
Did you guys miss me?
I did. We did miss you. I did it last week though, so I was pretty proud of myself for doing it, because I was like, I've never done this before. Let's see what happens.
The best part of that, if you listen to the episode, was like, just you guys were all just kind of trying to figure out who was going to do it, and you're like, well,
yeah.
I guess I'll do it.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm gonna do it.
Right.
No, it was fun.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Distance Nerding is now on Comic-Con Radio. Listen to Distance Nerding and our second show, A Comic Conversation, via ComicConRadio.com. Look for the Distance Nerding podcast, even this episode, and a new comic conversation each week on ComicConRadio.com /podcasts. And I'm going to put that in the chat right now, so that way everybody can see or kind of get a click on where you guys want to go and do that. So again, check that out. Check out
a lot of good stuff on there too.
Yeah, I mean, their shows are good. We try to work with them as much as possible with like all the shows that are on there. Just because, you know, like you guys have met some of the people that we know on there, like Eugene has become a fairly good friend of ours on here, and you know, he comes and hangs out every now and then. So yeah, it's good. It's basically just spreading the goodness of Distance Nerding around the world.
Yeah, you know, I think I've listened to a couple of things, and then I think I watched a couple of things. I don't know. I'm let's keep going.
Yeah. So guys, our next live show that you're going to catch us at is Powerhouse Comic Con. Head over to powerhousecomiccon.com May 20th in Pleasanton, California, featuring David Faustino from Married with Children, Tracy Gold from Growing Pains, Elise Bauman from Dragon Ball Z, and many, many more. Guys, it's going to be a blast of a time. We're going to have so much fun. New interviews, new things that we're going to, you know, kind of get down on. And of course, we're going to see some old friends hanging around in Pleasanton.
Yes, it's going to be very powerful at Powerhouse.
I see what you did.
Uh,
I see what you did there.
all right. Hey, are we ready? I mean, I heard there's like some trailer about some fast guy out.
Yeah, we are. And you know what's crazy is this is probably the first time that we're gonna do one that's like as it's coming out.
Right? Yeah. I was wondering. I was like, do we want to do it this week or do we want to wait until next week?
No, we're definitely doing it right now.
Yeah.
They snooze, they lose. It's just me and you this week. Actually, before I get in on Lights Camera Reaction, let's get in on this new flavor, right? So, guys, I've got a new flavor of Dubby. Just came out. Cali O Cream. It is a mango orange cream.
A mango?
Yeah,
Is Chris Kattan in there?
I'm Hispanic. I have to say mango.
Is Chris Kattan in there?
Does anybody want some cookies?
Oh my God, that is like the only reason to watch Corky Romano. The only reason for that line.
Hey, pissant. It's Pisson.
Oh man.
Oh God, and it's great because his brothers are the ones that named him that. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay. So let's get this scoop going right here. See how amazing this flavor is. It already smells really good.
I'm a huge fan of like dreamsicles, and you put a little mango in there, and oh yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Favorite mochi flavor? Mango. Mine. Favorite mochi flavor.
You guys missed the finger licking.
Yeah, we almost licked our fingers last week just for the heck of it.
I know James was like, I need the ASMR. Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my God, this tastes really good. Okay. So I've got the fizzy water.
Go to fizzy water.
And I'm gonna go ahead and pour that in real quick here.
As Rebecca would say, fizzy. Do you want it fizzy or flat? I just want water. Just want some water.
I just want some water. That's
I don't care. Just give me some water.
right. Ted, we love you.
Oh,
so,
and Wrexham, while we're doing this, congratulations to Wrexham.
absolutely.
You guys got promoted. It was so awesome. Way to go.
So in the past, me and James have talked about Welcome to Wrexham and kind of like, you know, watching that and everything like that. I'm a giant fan of Wrexham. I'm actually kind of sad that we can't get their jerseys here in the US.
Yeah.
I've tried for the last couple of months to get one, and it is very difficult to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm wondering now that they've been promoted if maybe it'll get a little easier.
Right.
Because
It might just be that we can't get them until they hit the Premier League, which is like 3 leagues
Yeah.
away at this point. So
yeah, well, yeah. I mean, and that could be it. So yeah, unless you know someone, you really can't get them. So,
right.
but that doesn't mean we don't love Wrexham. Just because we can't get the merch doesn't mean we aren't backing the Red Dragons.
Right. Exactly. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna give you guys the taste on this, the consensus on this flavor. It's very cream soda, and I taste more of like the orange dreamsicle than anything, but the mango kind of like cuts right in, so it's actually really good.
Well,
Right.
that's good because here's the thing: would it be good as a mixer?
Oh, absolutely. All everything W makes is good as a mixer.
Well, then there you go. If it's good as a mixer. Now, see, now I sound like I drink a lot. I very rarely drink alcohol, but at one time I did drink a lot.
I know, right? No, it's really good. And it's definitely worth the buy. Again, guys, Cali O Cream is the name of the flavor right here. This is Debbie's latest flavor right there. Really good.
So you know it's going to sell out. So if you want it, get it now.
They sell
and
out.
Use
pretty
that
quick,
10% discount code.
Yeah, their flavors actually sell out fairly quickly.
Yeah.
I went as soon as it came back, the push and punch, because I drank so much of it. I had to buy 2
Yeah.
tubs of this just to make sure I had it. It's
Wow.
yeah, that stuff is crack. But yeah, it's good. It's really good.
It's got to be
very-
crack if it's powering you.
I know, right? So that being said, right here, guys, it's time to get into the meat of the show because we're gonna get into some lights, camera, reaction.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited
Quiet on
about
the set.
this.
Can we please have quiet on the set?
So that
No,
being said,
I'm not going to be quiet on the set.
okay. So jumping into this because I haven't watched it yet. Have you watched it yet?
I've seen it once.
Okay.
So no. I mean,
Okay.
yes, but no.
So I mean, typically this is the story trailer, right? So I mean, like, I definitely want to.
Yeah, the first one was the fun one. This one is more. It gives you a little bit more meat to
Okay.
it. So yeah, I mean, and Ezra's Ezra, and they do a very good job in it. I will say that.
Okay. I mean, but like again, I get afraid with Ezra Miller because they have caused so many issues and so many problems in the past.
Yeah,
You know, I'm just
you don't want to be lured in by them again. So to
right.
speak.
Exactly. You know, like just
But
they've caused so many problems.
they already did it. They already did it. We know that they're probably not going to make it into the new DC
Right.
studios. So think of it as kind of a last hurrah for them. And they really set up Flash in the Justice League movie to be pretty pivotal. So I think this movie is going to be pretty pivotal.
Yeah.
And I just think it's just going to be nostalgia and for Snyder fans and for non-Snyder fans. I think they're running the gambit of all of them. So
Well, let's get into this and let's check it out here.
let's do this.
Let me just make sure the volume is not too high.
Yeah. And, you know, I still don't get why they called him the Flash and not Speedy, because Speedy sounds a little bit more logical. But I guess, you know, I'll be there in a flash. That was a big thing back then. So, yeah, okay.
Right.
Sorry. And that's all my 2 cents.
All right.
It's Barry's fault. It's always Barry's fault.
Oh, it's always Barry's fault. So
Always.
remember, we had this argument a while back
Yeah.
that Barry is very fine line, you know, selfish villainy, you know.
Yeah, it's because he's so fast and he's so impulsive. And so he just rushes into things and you're like, oh,
Which is
where
why
did Barry
his
go?
grandson becomes Impulse.
Yes. I have all of those, by the way. All
All the Impulse books?
Yeah.
Yes. I
Because
love
he
it.
was part of Young Justice, and
Yes, he
I love
was.
Young Justice.
Young Justice was so good. All right, before we go off on tangents, let's watch this trailer.
Batman.
Yes, it is
meets
100.
The Snyderverse meets a whole heck of a lot of other crap. I mean, it's like
kind of
not
a
crap,
trip.
but it's
It's kind of a trip that the Bat Pod, like, it looks like the one from The Dark Knight, but it's like,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's not Christian Bale's Batman. I mean,
No, I don't think
obviously have Keaton in this, so it's like,
Well, Keaton and Affleck, and I think it.
oh,
it
you know what?
might-
That was probably Affleck.
Yeah, it could be Affleck, but I'm wondering if Affleck's not going to be at the beginning of the movie, because I thought it was going to be like, okay, Barry goes to Batman, and he said, you know, and he's like, no, dude, you can't do this, and Barry does it anyway, and then he meets Keaton Batman,
Right.
And I couldn't think of a Mikey Bat. We'll call
Mikey
him
Bat.
Mikey Bat.
Bat, I mean, because I've made
Right.
the argument. Me and Watson have made the argument that Batfleck is one of the best versions of Batman.
He is.
The thing is that after seeing this version of Keaton in action,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of fall. I'm starting to fall back in the line of Keaton being my favorite Batman again. But it's like,
well, Keaton is the original live action movie Batman.
but they have
So-
him moving the way that Batfleck moves, and it's kind of like,
Yeah.
you know, like you have him with the rubberneck suit, but he's moving the way that Batfleck moves, and that makes it kind of like, you know, you take away the I can't move my head situation
Yeah.
that Keaton had, right?
Mhm.
Which again was a joke in the Dark Knight series, because by the Dark Knight, you want to move your head, right? And they made a joke about how he can move his head in the first movie, right? So, you know, I love the callbacks on everything, and the fact that they're kind of trying to fix the issues within Tim Burton's Batman universe. I love that he's returning to that universe, but we're getting just a completely badass version of him, and he is an older Dark Knight version of Batman. So I mean, I enjoy that choice that they made with this.
Oh, definitely. I agree 100%. It's just one of those where I have to say that Ben Bat is my favorite Batman. And it's because he did really well as Bruce, and he did really well as Batman. The only thing that he was missing was the Master of Disguise. That's what he was missing, because that's a thing that everybody forgets about. I mean, they forget that he's a detective as well, but it's, you know, he's,
especially considering that they're going after the Dark Knight series, you know, with those movies, that he was the older Batman and he's coming out of retirement kind of stuff. The other thing they didn't do is they didn't give him the bat stash, but I mean, like, you know, because remember the beginning of Dark Knight, he's got that mustache, right? So it's like, you know, they didn't give him the bat stash, but I mean, like they didn't show like when I forgot her name, but the Nazi chick that he beats the crap out of as an old woman.
Oh yeah. Oh, what is her name? I can't remember it either, but I know who you're
not
talking
so
about.
much that I care about the Nazi chick, but the fact that he dressed as an old woman convincingly, that people thought that he was an old Jewish lady, you know. So it's like Bruce being able to do that, you know, and a lot of that he learned from Zatara.
Zatara,
I almost said Zatanna, but it's like, no, that's the daughter. Zatara, the father.
No, he was trying to get in her pants the whole time. So
no, he's always been trying to get in Zatara's pants, Zatanna's pants. Damn it. But I mean, like, he learned a lot of that from Zatara, right? Like, you know, when he was learning magic from Zatara, same thing where, you know, when he was with the League of Shadows and he learned how to be a ninja. Like, people forget all the different talents that Bruce actually has, aside from being a ninja, that he is a master of magic. He's a master detective. Like, just,
he knows close-up magic.
He does actually know close-up magic. It's funny. I forgot what book it is, but there's a book where he's trying to impress somebody at a party and he does a close-up magic trick. And it wasn't. It was more like it was more banter, because it was Bruce trying to be like, oh yeah, I know close-up magic. I just got bored one day and learned. But the idea being that it was like shaking off the fact that he actually is a master of magic. So it's like, you know,
well, I mean, it's twist, you know, it's flipping it on its side, and that, you know, that's what the good stuff is. But yeah, I really, that was my only thing. But I have to say that I really love Michael Keaton as Batman. I felt his Bruce Wayne, the way he did his Bruce Wayne, as kind of psychotic as well. I loved that. And I thought that was such a fresh take in 89 when he did it. So I'm hoping that he's learned some less psychotic or less psychosis. Maybe
it's funny because that's the callback that James put inside of the the thing.
You want to go? Well, he says it in the trailer.
You want to go nuts? Let's go nuts.
But he says it in the trailer too.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
I must have been talking over it. I didn't hear it.
Yeah, he says it's when he doesn't have the cowl on, but he's in the suit and he's just kind of hanging there, and he goes, "You want to go nuts? Let's go nuts." I mean, just like that. It's hilarious. And I was like, I'm gonna love this freaking movie so much, you know. So,
you know, what would be even more of a trip is in the end if we got like just like a post-credit scene, right? But it not being something that leads to anything, but like in the end you just have like Nicholson show up, right?
Like, oh, you thought I was done? You ain't seen nothing yet.
But just like Nicholson's Joker still alive somehow, because it's the multiverse. It's possible.
Okay. Well, I mean, we don't know how it's going to end, so we could say like, oh, this would be a great post-credit scene. This would be a great scene. You know, I have a feeling whatever we get is going to be fantastic. It looks really good.
Yeah, because I wouldn't.
I have a lot of I have a lot of mixed feelings about the person playing the Flash. And so, and I actually
And we all
really
do.
like the Flash, the character, himself. I'm more of a Wally as the Flash.
So
but,
am I.
you know,
I've always been a fan of Wally West,
Yeah.
more than Barry Allen. But I mean, I've Forrest has made this argument in the past. I think that Grant Gustin plays a really good Barry Allen. He's very straight edge. He's very
mhm.
kind of like, he's a little witty, but he's not like super funny the way that
Yeah,
Barry,
he's still got that dorkiness about him.
right. Barry Allen is more of like a witty comic relief kind of person. That's why I've always liked Wally West over Barry Allen.
Yeah.
Is because especially when he's Kid Flash. Like Kid Flash is like freaking hilarious, right? But I mean, like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. But when he becomes the regular Flash, like I've always liked his run in the comics because he's always been plucky comic relief, and I like that about the Flash. The
And
time
he's
where
really competitive.
yeah, I was gonna say the times
He's-
that he's challenged Superman for like
Yeah.
remember, like a lot of people know the famous Superman versus the Flash race. That
Mhm.
wasn't Barry Allen versus Superman. That was Wally West
Yeah,
versus
it was
Superman.
Wally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Barry was just like, dude, we don't even need to, this is nothing. And Wally's like, oh, you want to race? Let's race.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm the fastest man alive. Right.
Yeah.
So guys, racing into theaters June 23rd, 2023
Yeah,
is
that's coming up.
The Flash. Oh yeah, it's coming up.
That means, I still believe it's going to be Blue Beetle Barbie summer. But I think The Flash might be a good appetizer to that summer.
Absolutely. All right,
All right, let's do this.
Moving on, ladies and gentlemen, it is the return of everybody's favorite made-up segment, Tales from the Thick. All right, guys, it's time to give everybody a recap. And I know James has been like, itching for this. So Galactic Shadow, Volume 1, The Void Whisperer, recap. Kazuke, an epic space ninja known as the Void Whisperer, begins an epic journey, his path shrouded in darkness and mystery, his destiny intertwined with the fate of the galaxy, teetering on the edge of oblivion. Trained by the secretive order of the Shinin, his greatest mission yet, to infiltrate the ranks of the most notorious pirate crew, the Star Reavers, and dismantle their operations from within. He was a shadow in the void, a silent guardian ready to restore order to a lawless realm. Just
like we need some sort of like 80s like kind of music.
Okay, thank you. So this week's entry into Tales of the Thick is Chapter 2, Outlaws and Allies. So guys, here we are returning to the Galactic Shadow. You want to go every other paragraph here? So you read one out.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
All right, cool. So I'll start off here. As the Kurokage approached the outer rim of the astral abyss, Kazuke contemplated the mission that lay ahead. The further he ventured into the lawless sector, the greater the danger he faced. He knew that he needed to find allies among the criminals and outlaws that called this place home. Only with their help could he hope to bring down the Star Reavers.
The first step in forging these alliances was to find a point of contact. Kazuke had received intel on a notorious mercenary known as Lyra, the Serpent Strike, who held a personal vendetta against the Star Reavers. If the rumors were true, she was the one who could bring Kazuke closer to the infamous pirate crew.
The Kurokage glided silently through the darkness, weaving its way between asteroid fields and decrepit space stations until it arrived at the coordinates of a hidden outpost, the Serpent's Lair. Kazuke docked the stealth cruiser, cloaked in shadows, and disembarked into a dimly lit corridor of the outpost. He could feel the tension in the air, the presence of cutthroats and brigands lurking in every corner.
As he moved through the winding passageways, Kazuke's instincts were on high alert, his senses keenly attuned to any potential threat. He soon found himself in the heart of the outpost, a sprawling cantina filled with the dregs of the galaxy. Patrons eyed him warily as he entered, the murmur of conversation dropping to a whisper.
Okay, just pausing. This is badass so far.
I know, it's awesome.
Just like the feeling of the entire thing so far has just been like tension, and he's like, I almost feel like he's gonna come in here and just like wreck everybody, right?
But
So it's like
the funny thing is like in both of these, he really hasn't done that much. So
he hasn't, but it's just
and
like
you're just like, oh gosh, I'm so invested.
it's doing a really good job of, because he really hasn't done much. Like it's doing a really good job of building the tension before anything even happens.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I feel like I'm there. I feel like I
know.
can smell the alien smoke and
Right.
the stickiness of the floors on
I
the cantina.
I almost feel like we're in nowhere right now.
Yeah, right? Oh, absolutely. All right, let's do this.
All right. Kazuke strode confidently to the bar, his gaze locked on the figure he sought. Lyra Strike. The mercenary was unmistakable, with her silver hair, piercing green eyes, and an unmistakable serpent tattoo coiling around her arm. She regarded Kazuke with a mixture of curiosity and suspicion as he took a seat beside her.
What do you want, stranger? Lyra asked, her voice dripping with disdain.
I need your help.
Oh, I thought I was going to do the whole thing. So, all right. Sorry. Go ahead.
I need your help, Kazuke replied, choosing his words carefully. I'm looking for the Star Reavers.
A flicker of interest flashed in Lyra's eyes. What business do you have with them?
Kazuke leaned in closer, lowering his voice. I have a score to settle, and I've heard you do too.
Lyra studied him for a moment, her gaze probing and calculating. Finally, she spoke. You're going to need more than just me if you want to take down the Reavers. Lucky for you, I know a few people who might be interested.
Over the course of the next few days, Lyra introduced Kazuke to her band of allies, a diverse and dangerous group of outcasts, each with a unique set of skills. There was Rexus, the grizzled space pirate with the talent for explosives, Nyx, the enigmatic hacker with unparalleled access to the galaxy's darkest secrets, and Zara, the battle-hardened warrior who had sworn vengeance against the Star Reavers for the death of her brother.
Together, they formed a formidable team, bound by a common goal: to take down the Star Reavers and restore order to the astral abyss. As they planned and trained, Kazuke found himself growing closer to his newfound allies, relying on their strength and cunning as much as his own. But he knew that he must never forget his true purpose, the mission that had brought him to this lawless corner of the galaxy.
For the time had come to strike at the heart of the Star Reavers, to infiltrate their ranks and unravel their web of power. Kazuke, a void whisperer, his heart set on the path of justice.
With Lyra's guidance, they began to lay the groundwork for their assault on the Star Reavers. They intercepted communications, sabotaged supply lines, and planted seeds of mistrust within the pirate crew's ranks. Each calculated move brought them one step closer to infiltrating the heart of the Reavers' operation.
Finally, the day arrived when the rare opportunity presented itself. A clandestine meeting between the Star Reavers and a rival pirate faction was scheduled to take place on an abandoned asteroid mining facility. Kazuke and his allies saw this as their chance to strike and infiltrate the inner circle of the Reavers.
They approached the facility with caution. Hidden within the shadows, of the Kurokage.
Kurokage.
As they docked, Kazuke felt a familiar thrill of adrenaline coursing through his veins. He knew that the coming battle would be unlike any he had faced before, but he was ready.
The team split up, each taking their position around the facility. Kazuke, clad in his space ninja armor, moved like a phantom through the darkness, his senses heightened and his blade at the ready. With Lyra, Rexus, Nyx, and Zara at his side, they struck like a storm, their ambush catching the pirates off guard.
Chaos erupted as the pirates scrambled to defend themselves, but they were no match for the relentless onslaught of Kazuke and his allies. Blades flashed, gunfire echoed, and explosions shook the very foundations of the asteroid. In the midst of the carnage, Kazuke spotted his true target, the enigmatic leader of the Star Reavers, Captain Drake.
Their eyes met across the battlefield, and Kazuke knew that this was the moment he had been waiting for. With the flick of his wrist, he sent the razor-sharp shuriken slicing through the air, embedding itself on Captain Drake's cybernetic arm. The pirate leader roared in pain and anger, his gaze fixed on Kazuke with a newfound intensity.
As the battle raged on, Kazuke and his allies fought with everything they had, their determination unwavering. But even as they gained the upper hand, Kazuke knew their true challenge had only just begun. The path to dismantling the Star Reavers' empire was far from over, and the Void Whisperer would not rest until justice was served.
Thus, with their victory at the asteroid mining facility, Kazuke and his allies had taken the first step towards stopping the Star Reavers. The road ahead was long and fraught with peril, but together they would face the darkness, united by their shared mission to restore balance to the galaxy. The galactic shadow had only just begun to cast its presence over the astral abyss.
And scene.
Whew!
That
got intense.
That did. And then there was one part where their eyes met across the room, and I was like, "Is this their meet cute?"
That's definitely their meet cute. That's exactly what happened right there. No, so what's crazy about this, right, is and kind of like where I'm thinking it's gonna go. It doesn't fully say that Kazuke killed Captain Drake.
No,
it says that they got into a fight and the battle raged on and that they won the battle. But did Captain Drake get away? Is he gonna go and like regroup and like build a bigger army now knowing that
is he gonna clone himself for years and years?
Right.
Sorry.
And then he's gonna reveal that he is Kazuke's father.
Right, exactly.
Or grandfather, I guess.
Actually, he's his uncle on his mother's side, who he hasn't ever met.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So. He's no. So Kazuke is the son of a clone that didn't turn out the way that he wanted.
Right. Exactly. That's it. Yeah. That's it. You got it. You got it. And in comes Benoit Blanc.
The thing is like, again, it's kind of a trip because remember, ChatGPT wrote this, right? So it's kind of like, okay, so it kind of like blew a wad in the second chapter, right? And it's like, it's kind of like, okay, well, where does it go from here, right? Like, and it does kind of like set up that he's got there's a bigger empire of Star Reavers that need to be taken down.
Definitely.
And like so early on, like he had this big battle with these Reavers that he was looking for, and they essentially won. I also want to know more about Lyra, Rexus, Nyx, Zara, especially
because I'm totally getting a Guardians of the Galaxy vibe going on.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I mean, like at the very beginning, because you had mentioned that that you wanted a badass female character to be introduced.
Yeah.
When you said that, this chapter had already been written, so like it was kind of like it was already there.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Right.
because it's all algorithms too. It's like this is what people are gonna really react to the most, and stuff like that. So.
Right. Like I want to see a backstory on Zara. I want to know like the
Oh
whole
yeah,
situation with the Star Reavers killing her brother and all that kind of stuff.
definitely.
I definitely want to see more about the exploits that Lyra has.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of like, okay, well, what kind of what makes her this badass assassin that everybody knows? Like, why is she so feared? Right.
She's kind
Uh,
of like a Gamora meets Nebula, kind of.
kind of, where like Zara seems like she seems more like a tank character,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Like, so like something like that. And then of course, Nyx the hacker, kind of
Oh
gives
yeah.
me
Like
kind
a
of
tech from Bad Batch.
yeah. Actually, she is very tech from Bad Batch.
Yeah.
And then of course Rexus. I want to know why Rexus isn't with all the other pirates.
Yeah.
Because Rexus was a space pirate, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, so why is this explosives pirate not hanging out with other pirates? Like, who pissed him off? Where he's like,
Right.
well, if you're gonna go hang out with the assassins, then
Screw you guys. I'm gonna go
Screw
hang
you
out with
guys.
assassins now.
I'm going home.
It's Cartman.
It's Eric
Cartman.
Cartman. It's Eric Cartman, but less Nazi. Like.
Mhm. Mhm. Oh, that's funny.
But I mean, yeah, this chapter was pretty great. If you were to give it a rating, and we got to rate that trailer too. I forgot to rate the trailer, but
Oh yeah, we did forget to rate the trailers. So.
if you were to give this a rating, what would you give it?
I mean, it had some battle scenes. The only thing is, I don't think it went too deep into the battle. I would have liked that a little bit more.
And I was thinking that too. Like, I would have wanted
Yeah.
more, kind of more description of like what was happening in the battle. I would have
Yeah.
loved some gore, whereas like he chopped off some dude's arm and it like describes every
Yeah.
agonizing detail of that arm getting chopped off. Like, you got the shuriken hitting the dude in the arm, and it's very cyberpunk, but it's like I wanted a little more than just that.
Yeah, you want more than just that one thing, and then suddenly they're all gone and they've destroyed. It's like, what happened here? So that I would say that. So I'd probably give it 8 AIs freaking out about deadlines out of out of 10 space ninjas, because I still laugh at the space ninja.
The idea of a space ninja. Oh,
Yeah.
my favorite line in the entire thing was him putting on his space ninja armor. I'm like, oh my God.
I'm like, it's like now he's dressing like a space ninja and it's armor. It's like, what?
Yeah, he hasn't put on his space ninja armor. I'm like, oh God. Like, where's it at right here? Kazuke, clad in his space ninja armor, moved like a phantom through the darkness. Like, that's
such a great line, but it's like space ninja. I just, I'm having flashbacks to the 80s of those really bad TV shows. Space ninja,
and like I'm imagining like one of the powers that he has is like being that he is the Void Whisperer, right?
Yeah.
And maybe we write this in next, right? Like maybe
Okay.
we start writing this in, but that he can like merge with the shadows.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So like basically, and he's a ninja, right? You want to move, you want to move with the shadows. Like one of his powers is that he can like merge with the shadows and literally
he's
move
just
with
a
the shadow.
shadow. Yeah, he's a shadow.
Like, he becomes
I was thinking like also like an attack type of thing is like if you lock eyes with him, then you see into the void and it like messes with you.
and
So.
just with that, I just got like flashbacks to Scorpion, and I'm just like, oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
he's a ninja that can move through shadows, so like he can teleport through shadows too. Would be dope.
There you go.
Right. So like say he's like in a fight and he like jumps in a shadow and comes out behind you. Like that'd be dope.
That would be. That's awesome. All right.
Yeah.
We're really invested in this. So okay.
I know.
You
And
need to
remember,
rate it.
everything that we come up with right here is just fuel for us to feed the chat GPT later.
Yeah,
So
that's true. All right. No, what's your rating?
my rating is definitely I'd probably also go with an 8, just because again, I would have wanted more description of the fight, right?
Yeah.
And getting a little more kind of like, like I would have wanted something a little more gory, but yeah, definitely 8 space shurikens out of 10 space pirates on a space ninja vessel.
There you go.
Again, what's funny is this kind of reminds me of just some of the side jokes in Dragon Ball Abridged. When
Oh,
they,
yeah.
when they
Yeah.
go to Namek, he goes, I have a space orange. He goes, are you just putting space in front of everything that's in space? Well, we're in space, so yes.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Okay, so on the trailer,
Yes.
I'm gonna give it. I'll be quick. I'm gonna give it 9 bat mikies.
Oh, I thought you said bat mites. I was like, oh god, bat mite.
Yes, exactly. No, 9 bat mikies out of 10. Supergirl asking what the S on her chest means.
It means hope.
Yeah.
I am definitely gonna go with a 9 Michael Keaton's without obvious back and knee issues out of 10 out of 10 really well acted General Zods.
Okay. You got to shout out Michael Shannon.
Oh, Michael Shannon. Like again, as much as we love General Zod in the original Superman film,
Yeah.
or Superman 2, right?
Yeah.
As much as we love General Zod, like he felt like he was rich and entitled
Mm-hmm.
in that version of him, whereas in this one he seems more exactly what he is. He's a battle-hardened general, and he his intention is for the greater good of the gods that are the Kryptonians. Like it's he does seem like he has intent and purpose in what he does. And as a fascist military dude, his whole thing is, I will kill anybody that gets in my way and that gets in the way of my goal.
Yeah. And he's not afraid to die for it.
He's not-
And that's what I mean, I loved Zod and all of them in Superman 2, but Michael Shannon just
Son of Jor-El.
Yeah, he just knocked it right out of the park.
Yeah, he
It was made me forget the others even existed.
Neo before Zod. Okay.
Right?
Snoochie boochies. All right, let's move on here. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for us to start some rumors.
What? I'm going to start rumors? You're the only one that can hear it.
Ladies and gentlemen, all right, it is time to get into this. We've got some rumors this week, got 3 of them. And boy, are we going to have some fun here. So let's get into this first rumor here.
All right. And beam me up with hot dog finger Scotty news.
Beam me up with the hot dog fingers. I love it.
Paramount Plus announced that they are developing a movie titled Star Trek Section 31, starring Michelle Yeoh, reprising her role as Emperor Philippa Giorgio. I don't know how to say that last.
I want to say it's Giorgio.
Giorgio? Okay. All right. Michelle, call in. Let us know.
Yeah, just let us know, Michelle, friend of the show.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
As she joins
Please become a friend of the show.
She joins a secret division of Starfleet tasked with protecting the United Federation of Planets, but she also faces the sins of her past. So it sounds like she's going to be pretty conflicted in this.
Mhm.
And we know Michelle Yeoh, she does conflicted well.
Yeah.
But it doesn't stop there. The Hollywood Reporter pouring out that Earl Grey hot. They're reporting that the studio is looking to release Star Trek movies every 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Quote, sources say Section 31 is being envisioned as Mission Impossible meets Guardians of the Galaxy, which, with the big scope of both films, would make doing a weekly series a larger challenge. The plan, sources note, is for Kurtzman and company to do a Star Trek made for streaming movie every 2 years for Paramount Plus.
Interesting.
So, I mean, where does that leave Paramount Pictures in the battle for the Trekverse? I mean, they still have a movie with Abrams to do.
Right.
So are they just gonna say, the TV's one and movies are the other?
It's interesting to see kind of like how they want to move that franchise and what they want to do. Because it's kind of like you do have this kind of big scale with the Abrams films and everything like that, but then at the same time, you know, they want to build more content for Paramount Plus, and Star Trek has basically been their kind of linchpin within Paramount Plus.
Well, it's their, I mean, it's their starship, it's their flagship. So
Their flagship, yeah, it's their starship, yeah.
Their starship.
It is their enterprise.
Yeah. So I mean, I can absolutely see that. I'm wondering if, well, I think it might be better for the franchise itself, because Star Trek has always been rooted in television. Each new iteration started in television, whether they moved to movies or not. So I feel the Star Trek franchise itself lends itself more to episodic television. And if they want to do these streaming 2-hour movies, that stays in that level. They could do a movie and follow it up with the series, or do, and it's a lot more seamless. So I don't know. I've loved all the Star Trek movies, but I just think the franchise as a whole has always worked better in television.
And I mean, I don't disagree with you on that. Just Trek in itself, which is funny. We're talking about Trek, and I'm looking at the screen, and right above me right now,
Wow.
I've had that Enterprise there for forever. But I mean, like, yeah, it's like the shows have definitely been their kind of linchpins and everything. But I mean, they have been doing a really good job of making everything feel more cinematic, especially with Paramount Plus and with the shows that they've been doing on Paramount Plus. Kind of Abrams took them into the next generation as far as how they can make Star Trek look. And if you take the formula of Trek, take the original Trek formula, and put that kind of like that film flair to it, I think that's like a good combination that they can go with in doing things now. As far as whether they're doing this show, the Star Trek Section 31 or not, I don't know how I feel when it comes to Trek moving more towards like an action adventure, away from like being like more of exploratory.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. They did that as well. I mean, Deep Space Nine, halfway through, that was like they went through a war. So and it seemed to work. And I mean, Deep Space Nine is one of my favorites. And so I wonder, but I also think that's a better vehicle for Michelle Yeoh,
right,
than doing a more exploring type. Her being out there and in the action and being like they're like the special forces of Starfleet, or like the CIA of Starfleet, you know what I mean? And so I think that might lend it. I don't know if it's going to be successful or not. I think it's cool that they're trying it. So.
Yeah. And I'm behind the idea of this again, because you do have old school Trek purists that are more like, they want less of the action and flair. They want more of the, going back to the exploring and things like that. Versus like, I thought it was a fresh, like breath of fresh air to get like more of the action take that Abrams got into it,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, it was on. I loved how they always seemed to fall into it,
Mhm.
into the action, like both times, like that. Well, I mean, when they basically tried to save all those people from the volcano, they
Yeah,
kind of did that to themselves. But
and they got in trouble for that because
yeah,
Kirk, that was Kirk directly violating the
prime directive.
Prime Directive. So it's
Yeah,
like, and Spock got on him about that. So it's like,
yeah. It was just funny. And so, but it seemed more like a band of people just kind of stumbling into these adventures
right.
because they are exploring. And I thought that, I've always loved that as Star Trek. I think that's when Star Trek's at its best. Um, but I also, I mean, I think that they should be able to spread out, you know, if Star Wars can, why can't they, you know?
Right. So tacos on the table. This show is happening.
My tacos are on the table for this. I think that it should happen.
Yeah, my tacos are on the table. I think it's a smart move for Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
To kind of explore more things like this, and you reprise a character like Michonne's Emperor Philippa.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
And it sounds like she's got some past things she's got to do too. So there may be a little exploring in it after all.
Right.
Just personal exploration.
Absolutely. All right. Well, let's move into the next one here now, ladies and gentlemen. Daisy Ridley. Yeah. Speaking of Star Wars battles, the newest Skywalker is getting her own movie. But wait, is it her movie after all? According to John Rocha of the Hot Mic podcast, Daisy Ridley's Rey will not be the lead on the film. From what I understand, and this is a quote, from what I understand, and what some of the rumors have come out here is that Daisy won't necessarily be the lead. She'll be like the Luke Skywalker or the Obi-Wan Kenobi of the situation, and she'll be rebuilding the new Jedi Order. Jeff Snyder seems to confirm that she definitely won't be the lead, but a supporting character instead. On the same podcast, Snyder continued with, I'll tell you this. I'll break this for myself. According to some sources I know, different sources have reached out to me because of this show, and they have said to me that according to them and what they're hearing is that John Boyega will be coming back for this movie. So, number one, I want sources to reach out to us.
Yeah.
I want exclusive stuff like this. Hey, Hot
Right.
Mic podcast. You guys want to work with us?
Right.
Number
Well,
two.
another thing, and I'm going to probably just kill our chances now. Is Snyder being paid by the words that he speaks? Because he says a lot of stuff that doesn't mean anything until the very end.
He did kind of do a word salad there, but I mean, like,
Yeah.
at the very end, the John Boyega comment was actually fairly good thing. So I mean, like, what do we think about Rey pivoting to a mentor? Could Finn come back and be a student, or would it be more of an ensemble or focus on an unknown Force user? Like, do you think it would be like a new character that's under her tutelage? Do you think that Finn is going to be a focus, or that he's already a Padawan at this point?
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know, because they didn't really mention it after he just kind of did stuff with the saber and then not anything else. And it may be one of those where Rey comes to him. That's what I'm wondering, because I mean, nobody, like Luke is really the only one left. So nobody's really teaching people about what the Jedi really were. They just know them as, oh, they're these,
There were these wizards.
Yeah, they're space wizards
that had these really cool swords.
Yeah, and I want one. And that's basically all it is. It's like, I mean, seriously. So they may not have known.
Right. John Boyega confirmed that there was a cut scene in episode 9, damn it. In episode 9. That they were supposed to, like, basically when he says that he wanted to say something to Rey, but and they never finish off that thread. A lot of people assumed it was he wanted to tell her that he loved her. and he confirmed that it was that he was adept to the Force, and that
Yeah.
he was trying to tell her that he could use the Force and that he had like attunement to the Force. So he said that ended up getting cut out of the movie, but it's like, you know, that's a thread. Like that's something that
Yeah.
they kind of like go back on and say, okay, Finn is a Force user, and they can go into this thing where if it's years later, then she's taught Finn how the ways of the Force.
Yeah, it could be him getting his own Padawan.
Yeah.
Like, you know, how like he's becoming a knight and now he gets a Padawan. Yeah, that tracks. And
Yeah.
I could see her being supporting. I just don't think. I think right now you don't have her come out at Star Wars Celebration and them say it's a Rey movie and her not be a main protagonist in the movie.
But the thing is that it can still be a quote unquote Rey movie, but not be about Rey.
That's true. She could just be in it. Yeah.
Right. You know, she's essentially you make her the Obi-Wan Kenobi of the show or of the movie, right? Like she becomes, you know, the Jedi Master teaching, you know, the next generation of Jedi.
Yeah, and I think that would be really cool to see.
Yeah.
And if it is that Finn is there and he is becoming a Jedi Knight, it could focus on Finn and his Padawan.
Right.
So, and it could be that kid that was sweeping the stables.
The poop, the space horse poop
in on Cantonica, Cantonex. I don't know.
Canto Bite.
Canto Bite. That's it. I'm like, it's Canto something.
Something like that. So Charmin Obaid-Chinoy, the director for Miss Marvel, is attached to direct, and then it's a script written by Stephen Knight from Peaky Blinders. You familiar with Peaky Blinders?
Yeah, I've actually kind of been watching it on and off.
Love that show so much.
Well, I started watching it and then I got distracted, and then I went back and watched a couple more episodes, and then I got distracted again. It's hard for me unless I sit down and watch it all at once,
right,
to actually finish something. So yeah.
So tacos on the table.
That was merch.
Yeah,
there we go.
Tacos on the table. Is the movie not going to be about like directly about Rey? Do we not?
You know, I wouldn't hate it. So I'm gonna put my tacos on the table.
Yeah, I'm putting my tacos on the table. I would actually prefer, now that this worm is in my head, I would prefer that it's that the focus isn't Rey, but she's a part of the story. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is kind of like her main story has been told. That's what the sequels were.
Mm-hmm.
And so this, her pivoting into that, I could see that's a natural progression.
Right.
So that'd be kind of cool. All right, cool. Well, let's move on. And I gotta tell you, Reed Richards coming from a galaxy far, far away. Young Phil's favorite actor may be the MCU's new daddy.
Open!
Adam Driver has been rumored to be in talks to take on the role of Reed Richards in the Marvel's upcoming Fantastic Four movie. And according to this Schneider guy again, he added a little more to the rumor mill by revealing that Driver has actually been offered the role. He said, "I have in fact heard that Driver does have the offer." And that's all he said.
This guy is just basically a human giant freaking robot.
Yeah, he's just everywhere. He's everywhere.
No, but I'm saying, like, you know, the website Giant Freaking Robot. Like,
yeah.
Always, like, you know, dropping rumors and saying, "Oh yeah, I have we know for a fact that this is this," and then it turns out not to be true. Like right now, this dude Jeff Snyder, to me right now, is like a human giant freaking robot.
Or he's just making it all up. So, but people are listening, so I guess, yay, go Jeff.
Yeah.
Kevin Feige previously said Fantastic Four is the foundation for everything that came after in the comics. This is a quote. Sorry, it's a quote. There's certainly been versions of it on screen, but never inhabiting the storytelling of the MCU. And that's something that is really exciting for us. People will start to hear more about that soon. We plan on that being a big pillar of the MCU going forward, just the way they've been in the comics for 50 or 60 years. So, I mean, Feige definitely wants to hit it out of the park with this. You know, Fantastic Four has just been, it's just been horrible. Each movie is just like a different kind of disappointing. So I really
You mean you didn't like Doctor Doom as a blogger?
Right. No. I think I blacked that whole film out. Like, I remember bits and pieces, but I really honestly think I blacked out. I think and every time I try to watch it, I still can't remember anything. So I'm blacking it out on purpose, I think.
I love the best part of that entire movie was, hey, let's take this entitled kid that's just a blogger, and then he finds out at the end of the movie that he's royalty.
Yeah. Okay, sure.
Wow, it was so bad.
Yeah, it was bad. But yeah, so I mean, Fantastic Four is a big deal, and they're a really loved family in Marvel. So they got to get it right. I don't know about Adam Driver as Reed, although Reed is kind of an asshole, so he could do Reed.
It depends on how, like, what version of Reed Richards they're going for, right? So I mean, like, if they're going for kind of that more know-it-all assholey Reed Richards, I can see Adam Driver playing that character really well. I mean, again, I talk all the smack, and it's never, I never put down Adam Driver's acting ability. I just don't think he's that handsome.
Yeah, I think of him as kind of awkward. Maybe I just knew a lot of kids like him in high school. I don't know. Big
ears, giant nose, like he's just he's the elephant of handsome dudes.
But yeah, no, and I'm not on the Adam Driver, honey wagon. But
my wife is.
No, but I do think I have really enjoyed his acting in a lot of things. He was in The Last Duel with the Jodie Comer, and he did such a good job in that. Like,
I wanted to watch that. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, it's really good. So anyway, I guess she's also rumored to be playing Sue Storm, so that might be really cool to get them back together. So then you'd have to watch it.
Yeah, and it might be because of their chemistry. Like if they had really good chemistry on that movie, then they're probably like, hey, let's bring them back. They have really good chemistry, and they can have them play another couple.
Yeah, but she's got, when she's the blonde, she's really blonde. She has like an old school Sue Storm like presence about her and her face, and she's got the she seems so angelic, girl next door type, but then she can also go invisible and save the world. So I think that would be good too. So I'm not hating this, but Matt Shakman from WandaVision, he's going to be directing the film, and we already discussed that Comer's been rumored to play Sue Storm, and that they worked on Ridley Scott's movie The Last Duel. So hey, look at that.
Yeah,
look at us.
Look at her right now. I can see her as a Sue Storm. You know who else I could see as Sue Storm?
Who?
Emily Blunt. Okay.
Oh yeah, I could see that. But I'd want Jack Ryan to be her husband.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. I'd want him to be, because I just think that would be cool. But then
I love that you said Jack Ryan instead of
John Krasinski.
Well, instead of his character on The Office.
Jim.
Instead of Jim Halpert.
Yeah, Jim. Yeah, no, Jack Ryan.
Jack Ryan. He was a badass Jack Ryan. I'll give him that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But John Krasinski, because it's they're married in real life, like they already have chemistry like that. I was actually just watching something earlier in this tangent, but John Krasinski and Emily Blunt on the Norton Graham show.
Oh, I love the Graham Norton show.
Graham
oh my
Norton
god,
show,
I've seen that. Is it the one where he's wearing the baseball cap?
So they had that conversation. They had that conversation about him wearing a baseball cap, but no, it was more him talking about he had never seen Emily work until they did Quiet Place.
Yeah.
He said just like her presence, like it just when she gets into work mode, her presence will shut down an entire set. And like everybody is just like in awe of her ability and what she's able to do.
Yeah,
And he
she's
was like,
amazing.
yeah, and he was saying like, and it's kind of hard to build chemistry with your wife. And he's like, and you see us on screen and everybody talks about they have really good chemistry. Well, yeah, we're married.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, and I think, that I think that's great. Whoever they get, I'm really convinced casting for all of the MCU has been spot on. There's not one that I'm not that I'm like, oh man, they really should have gotten this person. I really think that they do well in casting. So if they're going for Adam Driver, they've got a reason, and they're going to pair him with someone that he probably already has established chemistry with.
Right. And I mean, it's a good pick. I wouldn't say that. I mean, Adam Driver is a pretty big actor. If you're going to bring him into the MCU, Reed Richards is a pretty long lasting character.
Yeah. But I mean, he said his whole thing about Star Wars, where he didn't want to be there because of the commitment. So, and I mean, this is a much bigger commitment.
Yeah. Reed Richards would be a giant commitment because Reed Richards is not just, he is the leader of the Fantastic Four. He's also one of the major players in the Illuminati. He's also one of the smartest individuals in all of Marvel. And he's a go-to character. Like basically he would become, or you would expect that he would be like a Nick Fury level character where he's like showing up everywhere.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I mean, he may be the one that they replace Nick Fury. You know what I mean? That gets everybody together. Hey.
Although it does surprise me that, although it does surprise me that we don't have as much Hank Pym as I would assume. Now that we have Hank Pym in the universe, like we don't have as much Hank Pym in the universe as you would think. So,
I wonder if it's because they went so much older with him.
Yeah.
And now we've got Scott. So I'm wondering if Scott will be kind of our conduit to him going forward.
I mean, it could be. The only thing about Scott is, you don't consult Scott for like, the mind-bending science that they need to move forward on things. Yeah, that's a Hank Pym. Those are Hank Pym questions. So it's like,
Well, until Endgame, they had Tony, and Tony was kind of who they went to all that for. So he might be. That might be why he didn't get stranded in the Q realm, or it might be why he didn't get killed. I mean, we don't know. So, and I think it'd be cool if they're going to use him. They should probably do it quick. He's not getting any younger. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely not.
So what do we think the odds are of Driver being the MCU's Mr. Fantastic? Is it a stretch?
That's a good one. I mean, after the conversation we just had, my tacos are half on the table on this, and only because I feel like Adam Driver, because of Star Wars, like he's not going to want to do a long-term commitment.
Yeah. He is kind of a commitophobe. So, yeah.
Weird, he's a Marine, but I mean, like,
right. I know that. I was like, that might be it. That just may have ruined everyone else.
I was gonna say because like Marines commit to everything.
Yeah, it just ruined him for everything,
including multiple failed marriages.
Right, there you go. Well, he that's why he acts, so he can pretend he's married all the time, and then doesn't have to commit to anything.
Yeah, marriage. I can do a divorce all through Marriage Story. It's fine.
Right. Yeah. No. So I agree with you. Half on the table. I don't hate it. If he says, yeah, sure, I'll absolutely do it, then I think he's gonna be gangbusters. But
I think he'd be a great Reed Richards. I just don't think that I don't think that he would want to make a commitment as big as large as that character is.
Yeah. So I think that might be the only thing. And that's why it's just like half on the table. So for me too, because I'm like, yeah, I mean, I would want it, but I don't know if it's a 50-50 situation. He's either going to do it or he's not going to do it. I mean, I know that's decisions. That's what decisions are. But yeah, I just think that he's more apt to not do it, so he can do his indie films and play multiple different characters.
Right. And we know he loves his indie films. So I mean,
Oh yeah. And maybe he'll do DC. I don't know.
I know.
So
right?
yeah. That's it. We're out
Turns
of the
out,
rumors.
turns out Adam Driver's the new Superman.
Oh, is he? Yeah, yeah. I thought it was Michael Cena? Because
John Cena?
no,
Oh, Michael Cera?
Michael Cera. That's it, Michael Cera. He because James said, "Oh yeah, if I were doing a Superman movie, I'd totally have Michael Cera be Superman."
Yeah, Michael Cera has no muscle on his body whatsoever.
No, I mean, I don't know if he can do it after playing Alan. That's a pretty pivotal role in Barbie.
God. He plays Alan?
Yes, he plays Alan.
Oh my God, that is horrible.
Ken's one friend, Alan.
Right. Which Ken are we talking about here?
No, Ken, like Alan was his friend in the 50s and 60s.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Which
Yeah,
Ken
it's
are we
like-
talking about here?
All of them. He's
You're
all
right.
of Ken's. And I feel like they shun him now.
I remember, and I don't know why I remember this, but when they came out with Skipper,
Oh yeah, I
They
remember
ate-
they can't. Yeah,
they aged Alan down, and he was Skipper's friend.
yeah, they did that. Oh my gosh, yeah, I just.
You remember that now?
Yeah, I do.
You know, so then you had like the miniature Skipper doll, and he had a miniature Alan doll that hung out with her.
Yeah, I had the summer swim skipper or whatever. I don't know.
Oh God,
had-
I wonder if Skipper's gonna be in the movie.
Oh my
I'm sure
gosh,
they're gonna
they-
make a reference to her.
Well, they have Midge. Midge was Skipper before Skipper.
Okay, so Midge is Barbie's younger sister.
Yeah, she's a younger sister or a friend. I can't remember.
Because
It's
Skipper's her younger sister.
yeah, Skipper's the younger sister, and then they also have like another one now, and I don't know what her name is. It's probably Pippa or something.
Peppa Pig. that tracks. Makes sense. All right, let's get into the next part here because, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time
For the download.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Whew, I'm on the wrong page.
Oh man.
Oh, that's why. Sorry. Check out the Distance Nerdington post for more news, all the trailers, reactions. Let us know what you're nerding out on this week, guys. We've got all kinds of stuff all over the Nerdington post. Of course, our boy Cam in the chat. Uh-oh. We got doggy attacks. But
Every time I unmute, they start barking again. Okay, there we go.
but our boy Cam up in the Nerdington post, always updating everything. So you know, big shout outs to Cam hooking us up with all the news that we can keep up with. Check out the trailers and everything that we have going on in there. So let's get into these quick hits.
Oh yeah. You want me to start them off?
Go for it.
All right. The princess is going to have a new home. The announcement was made on the official Hollywood Walk of Fame website. Carrie Fisher is finally going to be getting her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and the ceremony will be done on May 4th, aka Star Wars Day. I think that's very fitting.
It very, very much is.
Well, I mean, she is our forever princess, so.
Oh yeah.
So Anna Martinez, the producer of the Hollywood Walk of Fame, shared fans will be over the moon. This is a quote. Fans will be over the moon to know that their favorite movie princess, Carrie Fisher, will be honored with her star on the iconic Hollywood Walk of Fame. Carrie will join her Star Wars co-stars and fellow Walk of Famers, that's weird to say, Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford on this historic sidewalk. I am happy to add that her star is just a few feet away from the star of Mark Hamill and across the street from the star of her legendary mother, Debbie Reynolds.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's so sweet. Yeah. Guest speakers, they're to be announced. Billy Lord will be accepting the star on behalf of her mother.
Okay.
And then it's going to, I guess, what dedication of the 2,754th star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. It's Thursday, May 4th. It's going to be at 11:30 Pacific time, 11:30 a.m. You don't want to go after dark. And then, yeah, and it's at 6840 Hollywood Boulevard near the El Capitan Theater. And you can watch it live. It's going to be streamed exclusively at walkoffame.com.
That's awesome. You know, I'm actually surprised that she's going to be so close to the El Capitan Theater. You know, because it's like you would think that they have all those spots filled up.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's very deserving. That's definitely, she needs to be somewhere close to that theater. Because I mean, one of the biggest turnouts for Star Wars was at that theater. So I mean,
yeah. Well, and I think that they tried to get the to make sure that all three of them, like Harrison, Mark, and her, would be close to it, because that's such a you know, a big thing, and people will come to see that theater because of that, you know, the history of that movie. So
right.
So I think it's awesome.
Yeah, it's freaking great. Moving on, guys. Don't sleep on this news. Netflix's The Sandman series, Neil Gaiman has offered an update on the project, which is sure to make fans happy. There's been absolutely no news or updates on season 2 of the series since it was announced last fall, and fans have been curious about the development. Gaiman stated, scripts are written. We're casting the first episode. We'll be shooting. Sets are being designed. He continued, there's more Sandman coming in a really cool way, and it can take many forms. So we're starting shooting in the summer, and we're going to tackle the next huge chunk of stories in however long that might take. And I'm really excited to share the format of what that might be with everybody eventually. So there's no date when season 2 of The Sandman will awaken on Netflix. I'm excited about this. I loved the first season. I thought they did a really good job. There's still some story to be told.
There's a lot of stories to be told.
Right. There's a whole second series about like you know, the child that takes over his spot and things like that. But Gaiman said that he's gonna be writing brand new stories to fit into this narrative. So I'm excited to see what they're gonna do here.
I mean, yeah, and I mean, he lived in that universe for so long,
right? That
I think that there are probably stories that he didn't get to tell in the comic, and that he'll want to tell. And he has a different perspective now, so he might tell a story from a different perspective, and I think that's great. I loved that's what they did with the first season.
Right.
I really loved it. I really liked the Endless. And I did read a few Sandman back in the day. I just wasn't emo enough to keep up with it. So I didn't really get into it, but I read enough of it and knew what powerful stories there were. And the funny thing is what the first season was about. That just happened to be the stuff that I read. So I already knew about it.
What's a trip is that like some of the stuff that we saw on screen, I never imagined they were going to do, like the serial killer convention, the diner scene, like all that kind of stuff. I was like, they're not going to do all this. They're not going to do this in the show. You know, they're
I couldn't find.
They're going to do it in a different way, and it turned out that they went all in on it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think that they had to. Like, I think it would have been disappointing if they didn't. Like, you had to show all that. And I mean, it's morbid, but it's really funny. Yeah. You know, it's like the stuff that they put in, it was really funny.
The only thing, and it made sense that they didn't put it in, but the only thing that I felt was missing was the Midsummer Night's Dream.
Oh yeah.
Because they did the retelling of the story that inspired Midsummer Night's Dream, that where Morpheus inspired the story. So it's like that would have been fun. And I felt like if they would have done that, that would have been something that could have brought kids into, kids who weren't into Shakespeare to read Shakespeare, right?
Oh, definitely.
But I mean, even without it, it was fun because they did make references to it in a few episodes.
Yeah, and I think
it
they
actually
might
showed.
maybe they might do something like they might do it in season 2. It was kind of its own standalone, and
Right, it
so
was.
you can really put it in anywhere. But yeah, and especially if they mention it later on,
Right.
they might do it a little closer to that, just so
Right.
people
And then the other thing
remember
was
it.
the bonus episode we got was the Calypso storyline. And it was like, oh,
Yeah.
wow. Like a weird story, but I didn't really expect them to do the cat gods. And I loved it.
Oh yeah, I thought that was so great, the bonus episode.
Mhm.
And it really feels like they're trying to make it its own.
Yeah.
Like you know that they're not doing it in any one style. It's not a Marvel style or a DC style or a Star Wars style. It's trying to be its own thing, and
Which is
that's
what
what
it
it
should be.
needs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's what it should be. Again, the only other thing that disappointed me with that show, it's a minor gripe. It's not like anything that's like, oh, this ruined the whole show for me. It was like, like I when he goes to hell, I would have loved for him to have that interaction with Etrigan the demon, but obviously they hadn't introduced that character, so they couldn't do that.
Yeah.
But it's like, like they ended up making that the guide, like the big tall bald guide that he follows to
Yeah.
to her lair, like he ended up filling in for the Etrigan character. But I
Yeah.
would have loved to see Etrigan the demon. Like I would love to see Jason Blood. That would have been great.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Or Necron. Well, no, not really Necron. Necron doesn't hang out with Lucifer, so
Yeah.
I'm like, no, never mind. All right, but no, I think this is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. All
So
right,
moving
I
on
guess
here.
I'm gonna talk about cars. Ew, cars. Okay. Ew. You know what's stronger than dreams?
Nothing.
Family. After Justin Lin stepped away from Fast X in the middle of production,
Open!
Luis Leterrier,
Leterrier.
Okay, we'll roll with that. The Incredible Hulk and the Transporter, I assume he directed those, was hired to take his place and complete the film. Fans assumed that he would stick around and direct the 11th and final film of the franchise, and now that's been confirmed. There aren't really any details about the final chapter of the franchise, but it is a companion piece to Fast X. It's like a big 2-part grand finale car orgy. Sorry, I added the car orgy there. So
I stopped watching these movies after like the 6th one.
Oh, you made it further than me.
Yeah.
So I stopped after
whichever one where they were in Mexico. That's the last one I watched.
I have no clue. Yeah,
They were like driving for the cartel. It was weird.
Well, I mean, Fast X is coming up. It's going to explode into theaters May 19th, 2023. That's coming up. That's less than a month away.
Yeah. I mean, maybe I'll catch up because I mean the movies are entertaining. I just haven't like really watched them. So
I just feel like if you've seen one, they're cars. It's about cars and family.
It stopped being about cars and family a long time ago. It's mindless action at this point. Like they have a car that flies and they have a car that drives in space.
Yeah.
Like it's become like mindless. It started off as a movie about car thieves and the police trying to stop car thieves from stealing cars to being like this over the top ridiculous action thing. It became an 80s franchise basically, but with like 1,000 more movies.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not
like
I'm
this is
not
like if
into it.
Commando had like 10 movies.
Oh man, that would okay.
So moving on from that, guys.
Yes,
Do you know what's stronger than family? A franchise crossover. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, the Ninja Turtles have had a lot of crossovers over the years, including Batman, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Ghostbusters, X-Files. Usagi Yojimbo, and Street Fighter.
Oh, and there's a secret one. They also had a crossover with the Harlem Globetrotters.
I saw that. That was actually an awesome book. IDW Publishing and Dark Horse Comics have announced that they are teaming up for a project that will see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover with Stranger Things.
Oh, wow.
So we have a not a pizza synopsis waffleopsis.
Not a pizza synopsis waffleopsis.
Not a pizza synopsis waffleopsis. Synopsis. I know you guys missed it. Stranger Things and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have already crossed over in the form of action figures, thanks to Playmates, which released 4 2-pack featuring new versions of the Turtles paired with characters from Stranger Things, including Raphael and Jim Hopper, Michelangelo and Dustin, Donatello and Lucas, and Leonardo and Eleven. The toy crossovers came with a narrative reason for the crossover with the box reading. The Turtles have tracked TCRI's latest illegal experiments to New York City, from New York City to Hawkins, Indiana, where it's trying to harness the power of the Upside Down. The half-shell heroes must team up with Eleven and her friends to try and stop TCRI's next experiment before it succeeds. Action, adventure. No date on when we get pizza in the Upside Down. I just had to do that voice the entire time, especially because it wasn't scratching my throat. Like, oh, I can do this the whole way. Let's do it.
It's all that
Winning.
Yeah. You know, I have no interest in this at all. We have found something that I'm not interested in.
I mean, like the toy crossovers is actually a great idea. As far as a comic goes, that just becomes, I don't know. I love both franchises, but dude, we need this is the question.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I haven't, and I'm not a big fan of either. Like I've read Turtles in the past. I saw the first season of Stranger Things. You could, if you said, if you said I was a casual fan, that would be an overstatement. So
Turtles, turtle power. Okay. So I mean, I am excited about this. I don't know that I'll get the comic. But I mean, I like the idea of the crossover. I think it might be an interesting story. I also don't feel like I feel like the Turtles are from the Upside Down in their world. So it's like
right. Well, I mean, they're definitely underground. So I mean, it's I don't know if it seems like it's just trying to get in people who like either to buy it and then get the toys.
It's like, as soon as Eleven see them, does she think that they're monsters and does she try to kill them immediately?
Right. Yeah. That's
because I'm sorry, the Turtles are awesome, but they're not going to survive a telepath ripping them apart in midair.
No, yeah, they're not.
I'm sorry, just throwing that out there. They're ninjas. They're not like super, you know.
She'll go dark 11 on their ass.
Yeah, like they're not like not made of meat.
Right. Or she could just order a pizza.
I mean, that's how that's how you stop. You know, that's how you stop Mikey, at least.
Yeah.
Whoa, dude, it's a pizza.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of the 80s making a comeback, I don't think we were talking about that, but okay. Paramount Pictures.
I mean, technically, they're both franchises from the 80s, so it would be the 80s making a comeback.
Yeah. I guess it makes sense. Whatever. Paramount Pictures is developing a new untitled animated Transformers movie that is coming to theaters in 2024. And we have lots of new details to share with you thanks to the franchise producer Lorenzo Di Bonaventure. The movie is being helmed by Toy Story 4 director Josh Cooley, and it sounds like It's going to be an epic story that will deliver an origin story for the planet Cybertron and all of the Transformers. That's cool that that they're going to try to do an origin story.
I'm getting more and more excited because I want more Cybertronian stories. We get too many of these stories about how they interact with humans, and it's like, no, I want robot on robot violence.
You know what you want. You want robot on robot loving.
That too. A little bit of RC and why did I forget his name all of a sudden?
I got nothing because
a little bit of RC sideswipe action. There we go.
There you go. I'll oil your back. You'll oil mine.
Just the awkwardness of robots kissing.
Oh yeah.
You just
clank, clank,
ching, ching.
clank, clank, clank with the trolley.
Ching, ching, ching.
Kissing another trolley.
Ching, ching, ching.
This really pisses me off to no end.
All right, so during a recent interview with Collider, Bonaventura was asked about the film being set on Cybertron, and he revealed, "I could tell you really important parts of the story, which is more than a tease. This is something we were trying to do. We debated a lot about it in live action, and it just was financially impossible to do, which is the origin story of young Megatron and young Optimus. If you know the origin, they started as friends, and over time, things developed for them, and they ended up on two sides. So we're telling the young Optimus and the young Megatron story. We really are telling the origin story of all Transformers, both what they were at the beginning of it and how they grow apart."
Okay. No, and I do know this story because Optimus was a scientist. Megatron was part of the Cybertronian military. Eventually, as they go up, Optimus becomes like the leader of the Cybertronian science division, and Megatron becomes like the grand general. They're still friends at this point, when they get like these levels of power, and it ends up being that essentially like the war that happens is because Megatron essentially tries to consolidate power and Optimus is against it.
Yeah. I mean, it's that whole science versus the military struggle through the years. I mean, it's been that way for a while, so I could see that. But I think it'll be interesting. He does go on to say that he thinks that the story will set up a natural trilogy that he wants to tell, and that there are other films already being planned. He also says that the versions of Optimus and Megatron that we meet in this movie will be different than how we've come to know them over the years. So, and I think that, what you were saying is, if it's the beginning of it, yeah, they will be. They're probably way more positive and optimistic. And
well, actually, Optimus says so. They kind of, their ideologies ended up like mixing, because Optimus used to be very kind of like, like he wanted power and things like that. It's once he got power, he didn't want it.
Oh, okay.
And he realized that, kind of like being a prime, because he, you're born a prime. You're not a, it's not a title or anything like that. When he comes to the realization that he's a prime, he starts to realize that he didn't want the responsibility, that he becomes a reluctant leader, even though like he kind of wanted, like he was all for, basically he was all for fascism at first. Once he gets the power, he's
aren't we all at first?
Oh yeah, we're all, everybody's a fascist. It's just and it's kind of the opposite. Megatron was more part of the, like a cog in the greater machine, no pun intended there. And he and as he grows with power, he becomes like more power hungry. With absolute power, or absolute power corrupts absolutely, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say that those are, they're so what am I thinking of? They're so like typical, like what is it? Like Hero's Journey, there are different types, like prototypes, or not stereotypes, but you know what I mean. Like
Right.
tradition. That's a traditional thing. Like you have somebody that's the cog and then gets power and then tastes it and then they get corrupted. And then you have someone that's wants to be a leader and then they become a leader and they're like, you know, I really don't want this anymore. So it's kind of like the be careful what you wish for kind of thing. So
Right.
yeah, cool. Well, no date on when the new film will roll out.
Roll out.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have been the one to do that one. You probably would have done it with a little bit more gusto, but you know.
A little more gusto. Well, the next one I'm gonna do some voices. So
All right, here we go.
all right. So
Ohana means family and also means use the right voice.
oh, and you know why? Because he probably thought that I was gonna read that without doing his voice, and it was like,
Yeah.
all right, let me write this in there. You know, Ohana means family and also means use the right voice. Okay.
Ohana,
No, what he goes,
this is my family. I found it all by myself,
That's
all,
awesome.
all on my own.
When
It's
I do
small.
my Stitch voice, I scared my son with it when he was little. Like honestly, he freaked out, started crying, and so I couldn't do it for a long time. And I did it like 5 or 6 years later, and he was still like, "No, I'm not over it yet. I'm not over that yet." And so, so each time I do it, he's like, "Nope, too soon, too
I'm
soon."
trying to remember the line. He goes,
It's small and broken, but it works. Still works.
or when the manta ray monster boss, like the boss, when he's fighting him in the spaceship and he hits him, he goes, he said something about like, you broken, worthless abomination, and he goes, don't forget cuddly, like don't forget you're uncuddly, he like throws him outside of the spaceship.
Oh, it's hilarious.
You're uncuddly.
Defenestrate that butthead.
What?
I said, defenestrate that butthead. Throw him out the window.
Right. No. He says something to him and he goes,
Huh, stupid head.
and then he like launches himself at him through a volcano. Like,
So do you think that the live action movie is gonna reinvigorate the Stitch memes?
it probably will, especially with the news that I'm about to talk about right now. So Disney has cast original Lilo and Stitch director and Stitch voice actor Chris Sanders in the role of Stitch in the upcoming
Oh,
live
yeah.
action CGI remake. So we're getting the original voice actor to play Stitch, and it's going to be amazing. But the only thing that I'm afraid of with this is, what is Stitch going to look like?
Yeah,
You know,
that's true.
you know, I don't want, I kind of want him to be cute and cuddly, but I don't want him to be terrifying. Like, essentially, he needs to look like a blue koala.
Well, I would find that incredibly terrifying. I'm triggered by koalas. I'm not kidding.
He's like a
Yeah.
walking, talking blue koala.
I would. I'd black out
That'd be
probably.
that'd be a horror movie for you. The Hollywood Reporter, which also reports that Zach Galifianakis is confirmed to be playing Stitch's scientist creator Jumba. So a lot of people thought he was going to play Pleakley, but he's playing Jumba, which
Okay.
is the Russian dude, right? So far, the rest of the cast includes newcomer Maaya Kealoha, who is playing Lilo. I should know how to say that. I was just in Hawaii.
Oh, I said it way worse than you on the thing from last week. So you're aces in my book.
Maaya Kealoha. Yeah.
Yeah, you got it.
Billy Magnuson as the one-eyed alien Pleakley. So Billy Magnuson is playing Pleakley. Sydney Elizabeth Agudong from NCIS is playing
NCIS, yeah.
Nani.
That's cool.
Which I saw a picture of her, and I'm sorry, this is like a hater move for me right here. She doesn't look Hawaiian enough to me. But
You
just-
know, some people are saying that, but I mean, she is. She's got the heritage, so she's just not.
I mean,
not-
but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see kind of what it looks like on there. Lilo's old sister and legal guardian, the original voice of Nani, Tia Carrere. Oh, no way. Tia Carrere is going to be in this? Will be portraying a new character named Mrs. Keikoa, who's probably the teacher, while actress Amy Hill, who played Mrs. Hazagawa in the animated movie and series, will play a new character named Tutu.
Oh, wow. You think they might go a little bit more into like the Hawaiian heritage?
I hope they do.
I think that would add another layer to it. Now, see, I haven't seen the animated version.
You need to watch.
No, I haven't. I know I need to watch
like tonight. You need to watch.
Everybody says I need to watch it. But
it's funny. There's a koala joke in the movie because she goes,
no, it's good.
No, but it's not that. They don't do like a whole koala thing. It's because they think he's a dog, right? And, and Nani's talking to somebody over the phone, and she goes, he doesn't even look like a dog. He just looks like a deranged koala. and like basically she's talking on the phone. She turns around and he's like in the fridge. And he like turns around and looks at her for a second, like grabs a sandwich and closes the fridge door with his foot.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
It's great.
No, I'm not like they trigger me. It's just more the STDs. I mean,
but I mean, it's in a movie. You're not gonna get chlamydia from a movie koala.
Yeah, I know. And so, but that's it. And so ever since my son told me this fun little fact that they all had chlamydia. It's just been like anytime I hear about koalas, I'm like, koalas.
Yeah.
So no, but I think that'd be cute. And yes, I know I do need to watch Lilo and Stitch. I was just like, I'd been burned out by Elvis music by that time, and I think that's why I was like, no, I don't want to watch.
There's not that much Elvis music in it though, so I mean, like there's more Hawaiian music in it, but I mean, what you really need to be afraid of if you're afraid of koalas is drop bears.
Oh, I don't know what that is. So
yeah, just learn about drop bears. That's all.
No, I really don't want to. If there's koalas in there,
drop bears are a thing. It's a breed of koala.
Yeah, no, are they koala commandos?
Kind of.
They sound like.
Kind of. Drop bears are vicious and have rabies, and they jump out of trees and jump on you.
Yeah, no. I'm not even like, I thought like, oh, I want to go to Australia one day. No, I don't.
It's like, I don't want to go to Australia. Why? Because drop bears.
No, and drop bears, like the snakes, the birds that like start forest fires to get animals to come out. What the hell? I'm like, all of these, it's like all of the animals in Australia looked at all of the other animals all over the world.
It said, hold my beer.
No, and they said, y'all got nothing on us. You know, it's like, come on, bring it on. You know, I was like,
or
oh my
how
God.
About, I think it's like in the beginning of the summer years, there's a whole coast where giant spiders cover the coast in spider webs.
Yeah, this is not the place for me. I'm okay with not visiting all 7 continents. I'll do 6. I'll go to Antarctica. Okay. I am not going to Australia.
It's what happens when you put animals on a prison colony.
Oh.
So Lilo and Stitch remake was originally slated to say Aloha into theaters May 10th, 2024.
We didn't go off topic there. Not at all.
Just think of the drop bears. That's all you got to think about.
God. I'm gonna have nightmares of blue koalas and drop bears now.
You just need an Australian listener to laugh their ass off at this point, because they're gonna be like, "Oh God, he just said drop bears."
They're ducking just because they're like, someone said drop bears, you know. Oh, okay. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's not a koala. We kind of mentioned it last week. James Gunn recently announced on Twitter that Superman Legacy has started the pre-production phase. He said, "I'm honored to be part of the legacy, and what better day than Superman Anniversary Day to dive fully into early pre-production on Superman Legacy. Costumes, production designs, and more now up and running." So that's pretty cool. I do have a Kryptonite Synopsis. Superman Legacy will tell the story of Superman's journey to reconcile his Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringing as Clark Kent of Smallville, Kansas. He is the embodiment of truth, justice, and the American way, guided by human kindness in a world that sees kindness as old-fashioned. That's it. I'm out of coffee, so that's it. No, yeah. So I mean, I think that's cool, and I think it them doing it now with all the climate in the world is just so toxic right now,
Right.
that I think making this movie, and if you stay true to him being that beacon of kindness, I think it could hit at the right time and be gigantic. I mean, it's going to be a Superman film anyway, so it's going to make money. But I think James Gunn, with his eccentric way of seeing things, coupled with the original Boy Scout, I think it's a good thing. I think, yeah, the Blue Boy Scout. But yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be cool. I'm really interested to see where they go with it. So.
I mean, I'm with you on that. I'm a fan of Superman in medium. I enjoy watching Superman stories and like, reading Superman stories. A lot of people don't like Superman, and I understand why. But the thing is that it's the nuances of Superman that make me like him. It's not that, yeah, he is the ultimate superhero and he is, the ultimate good. It's the stories where people point out his flaws. It's why I like the version of Man of Steel, because a lot of people, a lot of people were like, oh yeah, but he's supposed to be the ultimate good. He wouldn't kill anybody. It's like, well, the point of that story was that what is Clark's breaking point? Yeah. What is something that he cannot allow to continue? And it's the fact that Zod does not give him a choice. Zod is like, if you do not kill me, I will make sure that everything you love is destroyed.
It reminded me of when Maxwell Lord had control over Superman, and
Right.
Wonder Woman had to kill him because she knew he was never going to stop.
Right.
And that was Clark's moment of, he's never going to stop.
Right.
I have to kill him because
Right.
that's the only option I have, even though it bruised his soul.
Right.
And I can see that. What I really would love is the beautiful colors that are in Superman. The light blue suit.
Yeah.
And then we see his vulnerabilities. I want that larger than life color, that you already know who he is before he gets there because you're
Right.
looking out for him.
Right.
And so, and I want that kind of sparkle, because I think that's what it needs to be. It needs to be that hope is old fashioned and kindness is old fashioned, but that the world is vibrant. And I think that's what Man of Steel lacked. If it had had more vibrance,
Mhm.
I think it would have been one of my top 5 films ever.
Yeah.
Because the way Henry Cavill played him was, I'm this really kind and just, my heart is just so full
Right.
kind of person, and would go and, and save anyone.
Yeah, because you saw, like, it broke him to kill Zod.
Yeah.
It was not something that was easy for him to do. Like, he literally cried doing it. So that, I felt like that was very in character. As much as people argued that it wasn't in character for Superman to kill anybody, like, it was very in character for him to do it in a way that hurt his soul, because he does not believe in killing. I mean, you go look at like All-Star Superman, right? And you look at like the cases where it seems like he loses it and kills everybody, and it turns out he didn't kill anybody, right? So it's like, like I love the versions of Superman where you feed into that vulnerability where, you know, or like Superman Prime, where you realize that where he fully realizes he's a god, you know, and he doesn't need food, he doesn't need sleep, he
And
essentially
he's also
son.
not all there because
He's not.
of Lois. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, no, I just would really love the juxtaposition of the vibrancy.
Yeah,
I mean, he's supposed to be somebody that absorbs the sun. So he should glow a little brighter. He should, you know, even he should have the really bright, hopeful colors and not be afraid that he's going to be old fashioned or whatever. And so I think that's what it needs. It needs that line between this vulnerable, emotional, fragile person in the body of this god that is larger than life and brighter than the sun, kind of thing. And so, and I think that's what they miss. They just miss that other half in Man of Steel. I think the emotional notes were there, and Cavill did a really good job. So,
absolutely.
Anyway, Superman Legacy is scheduled to cold breath its way into theaters on July 11th, 2025.
Let's hope it's cold breathing, because July is usually pretty freaking hot. So
yeah, that is true.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, let's move on to the next one, because spilling that cauldron tea, actress of stage and screen Patti LuPone, Witness and American Horror Story, has opened up about her character in the upcoming WandaVision spinoff series Agatha, Coven of Chaos. Appearing on The View, LuPone gave fans their first details about her character, Lilia Calderó, saying, "It's a coven of witches, and I play Lilia Calderó, who apparently is in the Marvel world. I researched her. She's hot. She's really hot. She's got a great body and hair. I didn't know there were witches. I didn't know anything about the Marvel world. There are witches in the Marvel world. So we are a coven of witches, and the witches are Catherine Hahn, Aubrey Plaza, and a familiar, if anybody knows, Heartstopper, is Joe Locke." So I'm 10 times more likely to watch this movie because Aubrey Plaza's in it now. And Catherine Hahn is pretty hot herself. So
I think Aubrey Plaza is actually playing April from Parks and Rec in it.
Oh God. Aubrey Plaza as a witch is going to be amazing, because she is going to be so goth. It's going to be ridiculous, and I'm going to love it.
I think she's blonde in it, actually.
Oh God.
She's playing against type.
I would be okay with that too. It's her sarcasm that gets me, because she can't drop that. Like there's a level of sarcasm in her voice that she just can't drop, even if she's trying.
Yeah, I just love her. I love Aubrey Plaza.
So she went on when I say she, I mean Patti LuPone. She went on to describe Calderó, who first appeared in Marvel Comics in 1973, as a 450-year-old Sicilian witch whose power is divination and whose trial is tarot. When asked about the show's release date, LuPone replied that filming hadn't finished just yet. She anticipated a 2024 release.
Oh, that's awesome. I don't know much about this character. I don't think I've ever heard of her. So this has got to be kind of obscure, I guess.
kind of. I mean, because I'm not super familiar with the character either, but I mean, the Coven of Chaos is it's a Scarlet Witch thing, right? I mean, these are characters that are linked to Scarlet Witch. So I mean, like, we're probably going to see a whole bunch of Easter eggs about, like, just kind of like that Scarlet Witch world. You know what I mean?
You think we'll get Bova?
I mean, they mentioned Bova in WandaVision.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it would be.
I would just love that. That'd be awesome.
It would be funny if they were just like, this cow is everybody's nanny.
Right. And this is Bova.
And this is the nanny cow.
Yeah.
Or if they just made a joke about it, right? Like, just like, like, that would be weird. Just as weird as, like, say a cow was your nanny, and they just show like a cow as a nanny.
That would be funny.
Yeah.
Or that's just they just had their milk delivered by Bova,
By a
like the
walk.
company, and then
Oh,
and it's got a cow on it, and so yeah, they could just keep doing stuff like that. But I just think it'd be cool, and we'll definitely know more because I think High Evolutionary might tie into it a little bit. Because I mean,
that makes sense.
his, in the comics at least, I just think that we might find out something about Wanda from him.
Yeah, especially now that we have the High Evolutionary, like, or we're going to have the High Evolutionary. So I mean, like, it makes a lot of sense. Especially like showing that, like, if they show that he's done experiments on other planets and then just, where they left him was creating, hybrid, intelligent animals.
Yeah, I think it might be how they explain Wanda's mutation. So, but I don't know. That's just off the top of my head as we're talking about this. So,
Right.
I'm not writing any of it down. All right, so on to some gaming news because I'm a gamer from way back.
You may have actually played this one.
I may have played a few of the angry tweeters. All right. Sega has now confirmed its plans to acquire Angry Birds developer Rovio.
Mm-hmm.
The deal is worth. Is that yen?
No, it's pounds.
Okay. I'm like, is that yen? The deal is worth 706 million pounds, which translates to just under 772 million in US dollars. So Sega's aim with the deal is to accelerate its growth in the global gaming market and increase its corporate value by generating synergies between Sega's existing businesses and Rovio's strengths, including its global IPs and live operated mobile game development capabilities. Synergy.
I was gonna say this is like Sonic and Angry Birds, but Sonic's owned by Nintendo now, so it's like
well, it's just, and maybe that's why, because I know a lot of people associate Sonic with Sega. I know I didn't really have anybody anymore, but yeah, that might be why. I don't think it's not a bad idea. And the Angry Birds like concept, it could be expanded. So it's not like there's not something in it for them.
Well, they
It's just
recently
funny.
shut down. They recently shut down the servers for the first game, right?
Oh, did they?
Yeah. So people were like freaking out about it, but they were like, "Yeah, nobody plays the first game. Everybody plays the second game." So it's like,
right. Yeah, all those boomers. Wow.
Okay, boomer.
But yeah, but it didn't really say that much. It's just like, hey, we bought them for this much, and that's about it. And then it's like, and we're just going to use synergies and a lot of other corporate speak to say, we're not really sure what we're going to do with it. We're probably just going to take it apart piece by piece.
You try again.
Synergy.
Or they're bringing Jim back because,
oh God,
show's on, Synergy.
Speaking of video games, how about 2,600 of them? Okay, maybe not that many. The iconic video game brand Atari has announced that they've acquired more than 100 PC and console game titles from the 1980s and 1990s. The press release highlights a few of them, including Bubsy, Hardball, Demolition Racer series, as well as the 1942 Pacific Air War, F-117A, and F-14 Air Combat series. Did you ever play Bubsy?
No, but the Demolition Racer series sounds vaguely familiar. So I did have, I had like one of the original Ataris, right? And played Pong.
Bubsy was like a Sonic clone.
Oh, is it? Oh, that's awesome.
Atari's plan is to expand digital and physical distribution of the classic titles, create new games based on the IP, and explore brand and merchandising collaborations. Atari CEO Wade Rosen said in a statement, "This is a deep catalog that includes groundbreaking and award-winning titles from Accolade, Infogrames, okay, and Microprose. Many of these titles are a part of the Atari history, and fans can look forward to seeing many of these games re-released in physical and digital formats, and in some cases, even ported to modern consoles.
Wow. At first, I thought it said modem consoles, and I was like, what are those?
That would be first generation PCs.
Yeah. Okay. So that's true. Yeah. So that's kind of cool. You know what I want? I just want an Atari shirt. That's what I want.
You know what? That would be dope, and I'm sure those exist like
Oh yeah,
somewhere. I mean, I an Atari shirt would be kind of dope.
That would be cool
with the original.
So if they want to like do all this and say, hey, if you get it, we'll throw in a shirt, I would be like, yeah, sure, I'm totally on for it.
Absolutely.
Because I would play like maybe 1 or 2 of the games, and that'd be about it. Because I'm a gamer, man. Okay.
Yeah, because I'm totally a gamer, dude. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the news. That being said, let's move in to what everybody came here for. It is now time. Break it down. For the breakdown, ladies and gentlemen, yes, it is time to break everything down. The Mandalorian, Season 3, Episode 8, rounded off the story of Din Djarin, Bo-Katan Kryze, and Grogu for another season. After the cliffhanger ending of The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 7, many expected a turbulent ending to the season. From theories surrounding Din Djarin's death, the emergence of the mythosaur, spies, which your whole thing was spies,
I know,
and more hints at Grand Admiral Thrawn, the season finisher was likely to include many wider references in no matter what direction it took. Everyone grab a basket because we're gonna Easter egg. We're going Easter egg hunting. So the reason I read that so weird is because I was trying to read that at the same time, do everything on the screen and all that.
No, it's hilarious. I just was we're doing something.
Right.
So I have to say this like right up front. First of all, I want to apologize for all of the predictions I made about this episode because they were so wrong.
Or how about Din Djarin and Bo-Katan are getting married?
Look, it's gonna happen. It'll happen next season.
Not happening. They're not getting married.
He told her he loved her.
He didn't say he loved her. He said that he basically bent the knee is what he did.
No, he gave his life for her. He said, I am going to make sure that your song gets written. That means he's going to be there for the whole time. He's saying, I am ready for a commitment here, Lady Kryze. Let's do this. And she was like, oh, okay.
He committed his last to her service. That's different. He basically, he's committing himself as a knight to her service.
He loves her. And his child totally loves her and is invested in her, so they're totally going to get married. I just want you to know. I just want to know what you're going to wear for the wedding. That's all I want to know.
Mandalorian armor. I'm just saying your theory. Your theory does not pass the Bechdel test. I'm just throwing it out there.
My theory about the like everything on it, like I was like, oh, do you think Din Djarin's gonna live? Is he gonna be mind flayed? And I was all in, like I was in, but I knew the armor was not the spot.
Like, you know what the Bechdel test is, right?
No.
It says that women in a series, basically the idea is that a show or a movie does not pass the Bechdel test if with it, like at any point women mention the need for men at least 3 times.
Oh yeah.
And so, like, if their entire intention is, oh, I want to get married, oh, I want to do this, basically it's not feminist, right? Whereas with this show totally passes the Bechdel test because Bo-Katan doesn't need anybody.
No, she doesn't. She don't need no man.
Same
She
thing
just
where,
needs Mandalorians to be together.
right. Well, same thing with the armorer. The armorer does not need a man in order to get her intentions across or do what she needs to do. They're just badass characters in their own right, which means it passes the Bechdel test.
Oh, I know, but her.
I'm sure they wrote it that way too, because they were like,
her and Din Djarin are gonna get
they're
married.
not getting married.
Yeah, they're gonna get
They're not
married.
getting married. I don't even think Mandalorians care about that.
Well, you know, that it doesn't mean she's trying to create a new Mandalorian civilization, and in that it's gonna be that they're gonna get married.
They're not getting married. They're not getting married. I know you say that just because it gets under my skin, but they're not.
You know, I would like to see. I want them to acknowledge the sexual tension. And then, you know,
I feel like there's more sexual tension between Axe Woves and Costco Reeves.
No, but I'm like, I do think that they
they
care about each other. I really do think that they care about each other. So
I'm going to take that back. There is more sexual tension between Axe Woves and Paz Vizsla than there is between Din Djarin and Bo-Katan Kryze. You've got to agree with that. You've got to agree with that.
You know what? I think there's a lot of sexual tension between them. So don't even start with me.
Like you know, you've got to agree with that. The Axe Woves and Paz Vizsla have the most sexual tension.
He has sexual tension with everyone. He's like the John Barrowman.
Because it's like they're playing games, and it's just like, you know, all of a sudden it's like, all right, you want me to stab you or what? Totally.
He's like, there are two ways that we can get out of this. We're either gonna fight or we're gonna kiss. Okay.
Before that, Vizsla had a lot of sexual tension with Din Djarin. So, like, you know, after they made up and decided, hey, we're not, you know, we don't hate each other anymore, all that sexual tension went away, and it had to go to someone else. And it totally went to Axe Wolves.
No, you know, I do think that they do care about each other, though. I really do. So I know they're getting closer.
Like I said, it seems more. It's more how the Hound cared about Arya Stark.
I mean, I could see that, but it's
like I don't see them having a. I don't see sexual tension between them, honestly, because it doesn't really seem like that's there. I do see a lot of, like, you know, I care about you and I'll give my life for you. And that's why I point out to that relationship more so than a romantic relationship. I see more that Din sees her as an honorable person and he's willing to give his life for her.
Yeah, no, I mean, I see her as the major partner. If there's like a major and minor, or like mentor, Padawan, mentor apprentice type thing, I see her as his mentor figure. I see she's the more experienced one, and that he's just got that charisma, and he's the younger kid that's learning all this, and this is his first apprentice, and he's decided that he's going to be his son, and so there's a lot of familial stuff going on. So I will say that, but I just think they have deep respect for each other, and they don't hate they don't hate each other. I think there is something there. I don't know if it'll ever be expressed, but I do think something is there. I see the armor as more like a mother figure to both of them, right. But I see them as like, it could be that whole Targaryen incest kind of thing, like, oh, you're my brother, oh, you know, kind of thing too. So
I think, again, like, you know, I don't see there being the reason I don't see a romantic angle with them is because it's for them, like I said, like Din's whole thing is honor, right? So
yeah,
I think he has a lot of people that follow him, that will follow him into battle and follow the things that he does, especially because he's a proven warrior, right? I think that those people who have their trust in Din Djarin will follow whoever he follows, and anyone that's following him within the coven, anyone that is following him, is essentially because he's pledging his sword, so to speak, to Bo-Katan, that he's bringing that loyalty to her. So those people are those who are loyal to him are going to be loyal to Bo-Katan. And
oh yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's well established.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think that's more of what's actually happening with all of this right here. Also, because Bo-Katan is proving herself in battle on more than one occasion, and proving herself as a capable leader. That even you know the Children of the Watch, because we all know that Death Watch no longer exists at this point. The Children of the Watch see her as honorable, even though they didn't before. And now they're willing to follow her in battle because of what she's proven she's capable of doing. You know, that's why I'm double downing on the fact that I don't think that they're going to hook up or anything like that, because it seems more she benefits more from him being a warrior loyal to her and loyal to the crown, rather than him being, you know, some puppy dog that's in love with her. You know, like I think the tactical element is having him as an ally rather than being, you know, intertwined with her.
You make some very good points there, Phil.
But you still think they're getting married?
Yep.
We'll find out in the movie after the next, you know, couple shows. So let's get into these Easter eggs. So kind of one of the first things we get into right here is we get a helmet vision within Din Djarin's helmet.
You know, I didn't even realize that. Like, and I saw it twice. Like,
Yeah.
I watched it twice.
And then you go back and watch it a third time. It's like, oh, that did happen. You know?
Yeah, I'm thinking about just going and watching it again, because I was like, I didn't even notice that. I think it's cool. I mean, obviously, it's got to be an homage to Iron Man, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's.
But I also think like part of it is also just kind of just seeing what it looks like inside of those helmets, because, you know, nobody's ever from the angle of Star Wars has been able to see what it looks like inside of one of those helmets. You know, of course, cosplayers know because they wear the helmets, but the thing is, like, how do these guys actually see through these helmets? You know,
right? Like, and what's that perspective? Like, what's that POV like? I think that's kind of cool. I wonder if they're going to continue doing it.
Right.
That might be a cool thing, a good addition to next season.
Because you would think that, you know, warriors that are, you know, encased in these helmets, you know, like, you kind of want your peripherals, right? But like,
right,
you know,
yeah,
you always wonder about like how these dudes in these helmets and these like really small T-bars, you know, how they see through these things and how they're so accurate at what they do. And now you get to see it.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. I feel like it's gonna be one of those like, they see their peripheral is computer generated, like, you know, they can see where, you know, it's just scanning the sides, so if something's coming. But yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of neat. I think it'll be neat if they do it again.
They've kind of like shown that with the rangefinders and like how the rangefinders work. So like, you know, especially like now in this series, we've seen more rangefinders than we ever have. So you know, it's kind of cool to be able to see like how they actually work and everything.
Yeah, and it seems like a natural progression to see it from inside, since now we've really kind of established Mandalore again. So now we can see inside the Mandalorians again, so to speak. So
it's going to be interesting to see if if any of the Children of the Watch, now that like they're integrating society, if any of the Children of the Watch start taking their helmets off,
or if any of the like Night Owls and the rest of the factions, if they decide to start wearing the helmets all the time.
You know, and I feel like the Children of the Watch would be like their religious sect, you know. So it's like, you know, you have these warriors, like, you're all warriors, but like the monks among you are the ones that don't take their helmets off. I mean, that can make sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I just
alive.
Yeah, and it could be that there are certain ones. Hey, you're going into the order of the way, and you won't ever take your helmet off again. And that's keeping the traditions. And other people might be like, yeah, you know what? I kind of want to see other people's faces.
Right.
It's just a thing with me.
Right.
I know it's a kink. Don't judge me.
So so eventually we get there's a whole section daring escape and everything like that, and Grogu's IG-12 brings back a joke from the first season.
Yeah, that was hilarious. That was so funny.
The back to spray.
Yeah, and it's just spraying like right into his like vision. Like
Yeah, he's just like, Grogu, stop. It's like, stop.
like, I'm okay. I'm okay.
But what's
Dude,
funny
I'm
is
okay.
IG-11 does the same thing to him in season 1, and it's just completely hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's funny. So yeah, it was a good callback. I thought that was fun.
Mhm.
And that Grogu seemed like you saw the look on his face, like when he was helping and stuff, and you saw like the concern on his face.
Oh yeah,
that he
He's
wasn't
like, "Yeah, you okay?"
using the Force aggressively. So I thought that was kind of cool.
So then we get R5D4 having PTSD
Oh yeah.
inside of the Imperial base. Like it's kind of funny how like he just kind of shows up and just the whole gag of him fighting all the mouse droids.
Yeah. And then he even like yeets one of them off.
He does.
I thought that was hilarious. That was like my favorite thing. I kept saying like when the mouse droid, the first one came out, I was like, just yeet it right off there. And then one of them, and he did that one. I was just like, oh my gosh. Then my son and I were like, what if there are real mice in there? And I was like, oh my gosh, how cute would that be? You have all these little mice and they're dressed in these like Imperial uniforms with the little hats and they're driving these little mouse trucks.
Right.
So yeah, that was weird, but fun.
Yeah. So then we start getting into one of my favorite kind of sequences, and it's Din walking through or getting R5D4 to take the shield barriers down. Very reminiscent of the fight from Phantom Menace.
Oh yeah.
And, I thought it was the dopest thing that he goes in there with no weapons and just starts wrecking dudes one by one and taking their stuff.
Yeah.
And just like taking guys out. And I love the kind of like the subtlety of like, okay, I get into this fight, I get a blaster, it gets knocked out of my hand and knocked down, and I have to start from square one all over again and just beat the crap out of the next guy.
It's like the scene in Dune.
Yeah.
It was like that. It just came into my head because I was thinking the mall thing too. I was like, oh, it's totally like that. And it's totally like his version of the Netflix Daredevil season 1 hallway scene. Like that one was so good too.
From Dune, you're talking about when Jason Momoa does that final fight, right?
It's like the redemption of that.
Yeah.
Because he didn't have any weapons either, did he? Or he had like one knife or something?
Duncan had a knife. So Duncan goes in with the shield and a knife and just starts wrecking everybody. But then he just gets overwhelmed after a while. Now, in this case, Jin doesn't get overwhelmed. He just kind of wrecks everybody. But it's like, it just shows how badass that Din Djarin really is. Because he's so adept at everything that he does. He can pick up anything you put in his hand and fight with it. The fact that he takes out those the Praetorians at the end was just ridiculous.
Oh yeah, that was amazing. I was so happy to see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, no, that hallway scene, I just loved it. And then when he turned around, you saw Grogu come in and he's like kind of awkwardly walking and you just see all of these bodies just thrown out. And then you're like, wait, he also like threw like half of the people like over the edge. So it was like, so he went through twice as many people as what's on there. So it was just a cool image. So, all right.
So now we start getting into once they get into the next room, you see some cloning vats, and it's basically a bunch of clones of Moff Gideon, even though he said, he in the last episode, he was talking with Hux. And saying that
Commandant Hugs.
He's Hugs.
Hugs.
Yeah, he's Hux from episode 7's dad. Which if you read the story on that, played by his brother, which is funny. But if you read the stories on that, I took a deep dive into Hux's father, and dude, he was a dirtbag.
Yeah.
Just because Hux was a bastard, so it's like it's messed up, and no wonder Hux becomes what he becomes. But like, we get into this room with the cloning bats, and you see all the clones of Moff Gideon, and for some reason, none of them can grow a mustache.
Right. You know, they've got to be going, can I mustache you a question?
Super mustachio.
That's how we know that Gideon's a clone.
Right. We know that Gideon's a clone because he looks more Puerto Rican than normal.
Yeah.
Without his mustache.
Right, exactly.
Actually, I think he's Colombian, but I mean, still.
Right. No, but you know that I thought it was gene splicing because he was said that he wanted the best of all, like the Mandalorians and Force users.
Well, because he was trying to give himself. He was trying to clone in Force powers. Which kind of what's crazy is that basically is like the beginnings of we haven't gotten the origins on Snoke, but like this is kind of like a bigger picture into why Snoke is what he is, and same thing, like why Emperor Palpatine, how Emperor Palpatine is. He's got these bad clones that he can't truly do a Force essence transfer with.
Well, right, and I think that's part of it. That's probably why they want Pershing's notes so badly too.
Right, so they can fix these clones.
Yeah, absolutely. So and that may be like what sparks it all.
Right.
Because I mean he was using Pershing, so. But yeah, I mean I didn't know. So when Grogu goes up to one of them and then his eyes open, which fantastic subtle jump scare, but just that whole thing, and he just starts running like, oh gosh, no, it's him, and that's when you realize, oh, they're clones of Gideon. I thought, okay, well that's kind of cool. Of course it would be. He's such a narcissist anyways.
Oh yeah, so that's why I said, like, I mentioned it on in the Nerdington post, but I was talking about how good Giancarlo Esposito is at playing characters that you just completely loathe.
Yeah.
And then you meet him in person. He's like the nicest, coolest dude in existence. And he mentioned that you have to offset all that evil with being a nice guy in real life. He goes, I play some pretty bad characters, man.
He's like, I can't steal anything. I can't commit murder. I can't do any of that. I can't do all the fun stuff I love because I play these guys.
Did you see the quote that I posted about him talking to his daughters?
No, I didn't.
He talks about how his daughters got upset because his daughters are young. His daughters got upset because they said, "Dad, don't hurt Baby Yoda. He's a baby and he hasn't done anything." He goes, "I can't wait to kill that stupid little baby."
Oh, that's awesome.
And he said, like, he talks about how his daughters like started tearing up, and he was like, "There's just a level of kind of just messing with my daughters because I think I'm going to kill a fictional character." So it's like,
well, no, and you got to think about it when they get older, because he's done so many of these villains.
Right.
He's never going to have a problem with their significant others. They're going to be like, oh, yeah, no, I'm not messing with you.
My dad is Moff Gideon, right?
Right. Yeah, it's like, my dad tried to kill Grogu, right?
My dad essentially murdered pretty much murdered half of the cast of Breaking Bad, right?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Or that he played a Cuban dictator and killed everybody in the game, right?
Right.
But yeah, so for that, moving on to the next thing. So Mandalore is slowly starting to become hospitable again. Like basically we're starting to get plant life, and nature finds a way.
Yeah, I mean it is. It's kind of Jurassic Park like. I mean, you got your mythosaur. There was like kaiju that was like, "Hey, look who I am." So I mean, it's gonna be like a crazy Jurassic Park thing going on with the Mandalorians. But I'll
But I mean,
be interested to find out if they like what they do with that. Like if they do the
right.
dome cities again, or if they just go aggro.
Right. They just kind of just let Mandalore grow because I mean they mentioned that they've been in constant civil war for 4 centuries, right? So it's like
Yeah.
the fact that now there's nothing on Mandalore and the direct surface is basically glassed. Like just growing right beneath the surface is, actual plant life and it's because there's no wars going on Mandalore anymore. Like the plant life is resustaining itself.
Yeah, and I think that's cool. So it's like Mandalore was welcoming them, saying, "Hey, yeah, we're ready. Come back."
Right.
You know.
I like the idea that they're creating the idea that Mandalore can sustain itself again. The only thing is where I start to wonder on this is, by the time we get to by the time we get to the sequel trilogy, this is it's a couple years after this. So it's like,
Mhm.
How do they explain where the Mandalorians have been if they've been if they've been repopulating their race? You know what I mean? If they've been
I'm wondering if that's going to be like a big deal, if they're going to have some sort of war with, and the Mandalorians come in and do it, and they're just so decimated that from
right.
that war that we just don't see them that much. Or they could just say, "No, we're peaceful now. You guys go fight and do whatever you want."
Well, which is what by the time we get to the Clone Wars, that's what it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be that they had established peace after 4 centuries of fighting. But then there was also still civil wars going on because there were, Death Watch wanted to go back to the old ways. They believed that peace was a weakness. So like
Yeah.
you get a lot of that, and that's why there's these constant bombings and kind of like terrorist organizations that come from Concordia and things like that. So it's like now that you're making it to where everybody is together again, maybe you can have an actual peaceful Mandalore and you can actually grow a sustainable Mandalore again.
Yeah, I think that's probably I think that's where they're going with it. So I don't know. I think that might be why there aren't as many Mandalorians, or you don't hear about them in the sequels as much, is because they are trying to just do their own thing. And they're like,
Interesting to see what background story they do with that.
Yeah, I think it'll be really interesting. And that was what I was thinking with that when it was this is the plant life of the of the world. And it's like, what?
That could also explain why Grogu is not present during the sequels, because obviously he wasn't thought of by that point. But I mean, like in the sequels, they can make that an explanation that he's been on Mandalore. And if you have an interaction between Grogu and Rey, it's not on a level of him being a Force user. It's the fact that he's a Mandalorian by this point.
Yeah, I mean, it could be that. It could be, Rey just feels him and goes and visits, and it's like, "Hey, do you want to be part of our thing?" And he's like, "Nah, I'm good."
Right, and then we hear a voice by that point.
Yeah.
So
and it's Taika Waititi.
And it's oh my god, if it's Taika Waititi, I would love that. So Mandalorian in the finale, we get Mandalorian jetpack warfare.
That
and
was
it
so
completely badass, right?
It was so cool. I was like, this right here, this is what we've wanted all season.
Yeah. Like we just get a bunch of Mandalorians with jetpacks being led by Bo-Katan and the Darksaber, and it is fucking glorious.
Yeah, and then and they just beat the crap out of each other, and that armor.
Oh my god, yeah. Dude, like I'm always surprised at the things that she's capable of doing with just a hammer and tongs.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She's so sick.
And and she was doing it in the air. Like she didn't touch down once.
Yeah.
So it was like, whoa, So that, I thought that was really cool. I thought that was a really cool twist on a battle. It's
Right.
not something we've ever seen before. It's not, so it was really neat. And I thought they delivered it really well. So
Absolutely did. So going on this, not to overshadow, but I mean, like, Grogu fighting Praetorian guards,
yeah, it's crazy.
foreshadowing The Last Jedi, because
Mhm.
the next time we see Praetorian guards is fighting Kylo Ren and Rey in
Yeah.
the throne chamber in episode 8.
Hmm. Yeah. And I'm, I'm really happy they brought him in because I thought those characters were so cool.
Yeah.
And we didn't get to see him that much. So I like that they've been around for a while. And we may see them again. I think that'll be really neat. I
Well,
love their weapons that they use because I thought their weapons are so cool. And I really liked the sense of urgency and sense of danger that I felt towards Grogu as those doors closed.
yeah, and I mean, it shows that they're established, right? Like, they
Mhm.
are at this point, because it's not like, oh, we're creating Praetorian guards, kind of how Moff Gideon created the new Dark Troopers, right? Like,
Yeah.
at this point, when he asked for Praetorian guards, they knew what those were, right? And they said, we
Yeah.
need 3 Praetorian guards, and they were just like, oh, for what? Like, these dudes are already supposed to be like the most badass of the badass, and you see why. Like, they come in and they just kind of start wrecking shop.
Yeah, and they're supposed to be like they hunt down force users too.
Right.
In that time frame. So it is interesting that he didn't say that he knew about a force user. And that Gideon didn't give that little secret away. But now
Right.
you got to think that people on the Shadow Council, they're going to be like, well, why did he need them? And why didn't they come back? Kind of thing.
Right.
So that might bring in other people and their curiosity for why would he want Praetorian guards specifically?
Right.
So
I'm gonna throw a prediction out there right real quick, because I don't know if we discuss this later, but I'm not 100% sure that Gideon is dead.
oh no, I think he was a clone. I think that's why he didn't have the mustache.
Well, not even that, not even the whole clone thing, but like, even that version of Gideon may not be dead, because yes, we saw an explosion and we saw him fall into that explosion, but he was also wearing Beskar armor. So I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
like,
true.
it's kind of like, I have a feeling that he made it out of that okay.
Yeah, I wonder if he made it out and he's like scarred and stuff because uh even with Beskar armor, I mean it's gonna get to a heat point that it's gonna, actually like sear into his skin and
But
stuff.
Beskar has a high heating point, so that's one of the things that, like, they talk about early on in the show. That was one of the things that the armor kind of mentions, is it takes a extreme amount of heat to form Beskar. So it's kind of like, if we're going off of that, and especially because of the way that Feige writes, you don't forget things like that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I had forgotten about that. So yeah, that is true. So he could be. I just assumed, like, I was like, oh well, they don't have any, and he doesn't have a mustache, and I was like, but he did, and I was like, maybe that's a clone too, and he's
I mean,
just
it could have been.
sipping Mai Tais on the beach somewhere.
Right. It could have been a clone. Or again, like, that could be the original version of him. And then later on we see clones fighting on his behalf, and he's like extremely scarred.
Yeah, that could be it too. Yeah.
You
So
know,
yeah, I don't think it's the last we'll ever hear of Moff Gideon.
Yeah, I have a feeling we're gonna see Moff Gideon again, and he's gonna be either he'll be working under Grand Admiral Thrawn, or he's gonna be a rival faction to Grand Admiral Thrawn. Because
Yeah,
remember, he didn't exactly get along with Thrawn himself. So
no, and I think it's gonna be that, like, them versus, and I think that the movie's gonna
or
tie that all up.
or it's gonna be how Dragon Ball Z was when Frieza reemerges and gets completely wrecked by Cell. Or not Cell, by Trunks, when he gets like completely wrecked.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Where like you see Moff Gideon like emerge again, and Thrawn just completely wrecks him within like the first 5 minutes of the show.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
And you just use him because, like, we've seen Moff Gideon and his power and how strong he is and his fighting skills and everything like that. then you just see Grand Admiral Thrawn just dispatch him with ease.
Yeah, because he's such a badass.
Right. And you know that just kind of establishes that the type of power that Grand Admiral Thrawn actually has.
That's
You know,
true.
off the gate, it just shows him how strong you are in comparison to a
Mhm.
character that we know is strong already.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So okay. So I liked Gideon's armor. I
Mhm.
thought it was cool. And it was motorized, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
It
because
was
that's what
very
I thought.
Vader-esque. It was very Vader-esque.
Yeah, it reminded me of like an MCU terms like War Machine.
Mhm.
Because it's more clunkier. But yeah, it totally reminded me of that. And then he had the staff thingy he had. Was that the like the old school separatist droids? What were they called?
Yeah. So it's the Electro staff, like the ones that the Purge troopers have.
Yeah, okay. The ones like and Kenobi fought some of them, right?
Yeah. They were like the droid guards that
Yeah.
that what's his name? Grievous has.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. That's what I thought it was. I was like, okay. That's kind of a cool callback.
I love callbacks like that because it shows that like stuff like this is still used within the universe, you know?
Yeah. And then when he was fighting Bo Katan and she like had the dark saber and I was like, oh man, this is getting good. We're gonna have this, and I thought it was kind of cool.
Now, interesting in that fight, he destroys the dark saber.
I know. So I mean that could go two ways. Although nobody really picked it up, so it might actually be gone because that fire might have burned it. But if it didn't, then either they're gonna repurpose it or Grogu's gonna come back at the end of season 4 or whatever, and he's gonna make his own lightsaber from the components of that, but it's not gonna be the dark saber.
That would be dope too. I mean, the speculation that's happening right now is more that it's going to usher in a new age of Mandalorian leadership where the dark saber is no longer the symbol, and it's more about almost like communism, but like them working together. It's more about Mandalorians working together for a single goal.
And I could see that. I'd like that because the darksaber was all about warriors and who's the strongest. And with it gone, then it's not necessarily about who's the strongest. It's that we're stronger together,
right?
Which is what Bo has been saying all along. And I think it was a good thing. I think they had to get rid of it. They had to. It was a plot point that had lived too long, and yeah. So I can absolutely see. I just wonder if at the end of everything, if Grogu decides to have a lightsaber, that if he's going to take the parts of the hilt of the darksaber and make it into something new, almost like it's being reborn as something else. I think that might be cool if he decides to do that. I don't know if that, I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but I think it'd just be kind of a cool little callback to that. So yeah, anyway, it was awesome.
Right. And then we get a callback from season 1. So if you remember in the season finale, you had the flame trooper that was trying to essentially burn Din, Cara Dune, and Grogu all together. And Grogu uses the Force to protect them. You get like that, but on a larger scale, because now he's protecting them from fire from a Imperial light cruiser.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And like you can see like the dome of the Force, and you don't get to see that very often. That was really cool. Like you could see the flames like almost like divert themselves, and it was neat. It was such a neat effect. But yeah, and did you see it was Grogu's parents in there with him?
Right.
His mom and his dad.
No, she's not his mom. He is officially his dad, though, and we'll get to that here in a second. But before we get into that, so we get a bookend, right? And this doesn't with the Mandalorian, you don't normally get that kind of stuff because
well, before we get to the bookend, but one more thing about it.
Huh?
After Grogu expended all of that, obviously that was way more an effort than, or it may not have been, but because Yoda says the Force, it doesn't matter how big something is, but that he, instead of him passing in his the first time he almost passed out, or he did.
Right.
In this one, he just sat down and was just kind of like, I'm okay. So you see that he's getting more resilient and stronger.
Well, this is also 2 years later. So I mean, like, this is 2 years after those events. So I mean, like, he spent 2 years with Luke honing his skills, and we don't know what he learned from Luke, right? So I think that's partially the idea of not giving us the full wad and showing what he's capable of doing. The idea is to like slowly kind of slow burn. Like, yeah, he learned a bunch of stuff with Luke that he's going to be able to kind of like use as a Mandalorian.
I wonder also if it might have something to do with him remembering more, like all these flashbacks are unlocking new memories and powers and more, and that he does have a better stamina than he thinks he does because he's been blocking all that off. So I wonder if it's like a combo thing, but that's just my fanciful thinking on the flashback thing. So let's move on now. Let's do the bookend.
So the bookend, right? And before we do that, guys, we have a bookend alert. Sorry, we've already been talking spoilers too, but so again, spoilers for those of you who are listening right now, and
we're only on we only have 2 other Easter eggs left,
right?
I think.
But I mean, this is something that we didn't mention at the end of episode 7. Paz Vizsla doesn't survive. Sad because he gave his life, right? And this is the way, and again, that just kind of shows his growth as well, being somebody from Clan Vizsla that gave his life for somebody from Clan Kreese. In a past life that would have never been something that happened.
And he did it so willingly, and so was
absolutely right. But that being said, right there, his son Ragnar, in the very first episode, it starts off with Ragnar getting his helmet and kind of trying to induct himself into the clan, and it never actually finishing. So there's been like 2 or 3 times over the course of the season where he was trying to get inducted and something happened. The second time he tried to get inducted, he got picked up by a raptor.
Right. It's just like, man, really? Seriously?
Yeah. So they finally get to induct him. And it's in the living waters of Mandalore. So rather
I half expected the Mythosaur just come up and just
eat him.
Yeah, just like, and then they're all like, "Oh my god, it's a
well, Clan Vizsla was not meant to survive." So
right, I'm just like, I was like, please don't get this kid near water again. I don't care where it is. Just.
But of course, this time there is an interruption. Not as bad as the rest of them, but Din interrupts and basically says, Grogu is my apprentice, and I want him to take the oath. And he's, I mean, the armorer makes a point. She goes, well, as he can't talk, he can't take the oath.
Say the words. Yeah, he
right?
Can't say the words, can't say the creed.
Right. But I do like the way that he approached it and was like, okay, well, as his guardian, I can say the oath for him. And she goes, well, as he's not your son, he cannot be you can't take responsibility for him that way. And so he adopts him. And again, another heartwarming thing, is Grogu becomes Din Grogu.
Yeah. And we were like, what? Din? Din's your last name?
And I thought that the same way too. So I was like, wait, so Din Djarin is like where that doesn't make sense for me. And I guess now I'm starting to realize how, but like, I mean, where it didn't make sense for me was because that makes him Clan Din,
Yeah.
but he goes with his surname first, which
Mhm.
both Catan Kreese puts her surname after, and she's Clan Kreese. So it's like, because her sister is also a Kreese. So it's just kind of like,
Well,
you
I'm
know,
wondering if he wasn't adopted by a clan. He was actually just a foundling and
right.
learned to be an apprentice, but he wasn't like in an actual clan. And so that's his name from where he was, like where they found him.
Well, I actually think it probably has more to do with his probably the planet that he was from, because remember he's a foundling. So
Yeah.
the planet that he was from, that was the way that they did their names, kind of the way that, like how traditionally Chinese people was the same way, right? They do their first name last name first, and
that
as well.
I'm saying the exact same thing. We're on the
Yeah.
exact same page.
Yeah, so like, you know, that, but then also I think, and I'm probably reading between the lines, but the way that their reactions and their voices were when she starts saying, "You will take him on his trials the way that your master taught you."
Mhm.
I have a feeling the armorer was his master,
Maybe. I think that, yeah, absolutely. I could see that.
because just the
But
way that they were talking, you know, like, you know,
Mhm.
and the way that it started zooming in as they started having that conversation.
she's definitely somebody very important to him.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
Well,
so
I
I
mean,
don't.
she's important to the entire clan, but I feel like there's more between the
He's
two
her
of them.
special little guy.
Yeah, like I feel like that he is like her surrogate son.
Right, and that's why she wants Bo-Katan to marry him.
She doesn't want Bo-Katan to marry him at all. There's nothing in this entire story where she even makes an inkling that she wants Bo-Katan to marry Din. I guess his name is Jaren, right? So
Yeah, Jaren.
she doesn't
Hey,
want him to marry.
Jaren. That's probably why he goes by Din Jaren. It has nothing to do with anything. He's just like, my first name is stupid.
Yeah,
I'm going by Din.
it's so hard to call him Jaren, right? Like where I've been calling him Din since they named his character. Like,
Well, and if you look back at the shows, nobody just calls him Din.
oh yeah, they all
They
say
either call him Mando or they call him Din Djarin.
yeah.
Like they don't ever, so it's interesting. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was a cool little, it's really a Star Trek callback because of Kira from Deep Space Nine.
Mm-hmm.
Their whole the Bajoran race had their surname first, and they called it their public name and their private name. So if they told you their second name, that meant that you were part of their intimate circle and you could call them by that. And so I just thought that was fun. I was like, oh, is this a Star Trek reference? As soon as they did it. So
right.
I doubt it.
Right. So moving on to a couple of different things that kind of set up another season. Now we don't know if we're going to get another season. They did mention, or at least
Favreau said he's written it already, right?
I think he did, but I think
we gotta check that was in April 1st.
Iger said that it's like that this show is ending after season 3. So, I mean it was a rumor, so we haven't gotten a confirmation, but like they were saying that Iger wanted to end Mandalorian after season 3 and then go into this movie, and do the bookends on the movie. I do feel like there are a lot of kind of like new plot points that they can go into. Again, Din Djarin and Din Grogu setting up a homestead in Navarro.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So that was like one of the things right there. The fact that he is now a bounty hunter for the New Republic.
Yeah.
Establishing, kind of they could, if they do end up doing Rangers of the New Republic, because they have kind of given us a setup for it now that doesn't need Cara Dune. Like we can get a Din Djarin, almost like how in Book of Boba he just shows up and kind of gets a season 3.3 3.5.
Right, yeah.
Lucas has also been talking for years you know, about doing the Rangers of the New Republic. So I mean, like we'll see if they do that. We get another glimpse of the Mythosaur. So we see that right there. And then it might be a hint that he, you know, that Grogu is going to use the Force at some point to tame the Mythosaur.
Yeah, I just wonder if he just has an affinity for creatures, and this is just part of that. And so, yeah, which I think it'll be cool. I think I would like to see another season. If it ended now, I would be satisfied because it did kind of end that whole story point of, hey, we got the Mandalorians back on Mandalore, and now we're, going back to being that lone wolf and cub, like Forrest likes to say. So, and he's completely right. It is, but anyway, yeah, I wouldn't mind it. But this next one is the one that I thought was the coolest thing.
Oh, I totally squeed when this happened.
Yeah.
Because I mean, when Din goes and talks to what's his name?
Carson Teva.
Carson Teva. When he goes and talks to Carson Teva, they have the trophies in the bar, and he says, "I need that assassin droid head." And he goes, "For what?" He goes, "For parts. Don't worry about it." Right? He's like, "Don't."
It was almost a rocket moment, and I need that assassin droid's head.
Yeah, I know, right? And I need his eye.
Right. Yeah. I mean, but the funny thing, I loved it that whereas in season 1, Grogu wouldn't have walked in a place all by himself, like right by his dad, and he wouldn't have jumped up on that stool and then jumped up on the counter and started eating and looking around and calling attention to the thing that they need. I mean, so it's, you see their partnership grow.
Right.
And it's a really cool thing. Yeah.
Right. And I mean, we've also seen him like we've seen Din Djarin kind of grow in his trust in Grogu's abilities over the season. Is a lot there have been a lot of points where he's just been like, he's too young, he can't do this, he can't do that. And then he sees in the moment that Grogu is a lot more capable than he thinks he is. So I mean, it does seem like they're going to be going into like more of a partnership where he trusts Grogu to do more on his own, and kind of trust him as a partner, right? Like, hey, I need you to go up there and do this,
It's the next stage of parenthood for him.
Yeah.
Like, he's had his baby and toddler, and now he's got a kid, and this kid is capable. And so he's got to, let go a little and let him, blossom. And I think that's awesome. So if it ended, I'd be like, okay, it's cool. But that whole scene, I just thought was great.
Right.
And, it was like the old Din Djarin. He was just like, no, you've already thought about it. See you in a little while, kind of thing. It's like, okay, bye.
But I did love that, they get this assassin droid's head, and they reprogram IG-12 back to IG-11. And we get a call back to IG-11. They finally got all the parts that he said he needed, and essentially he becomes the Marshal of Navarro.
Yeah, he's got his redemption story.
Absolutely did. He started off as a assassin droid that became a nanny droid that got destroyed, that becomes a mindless assassin droid and tries to kill everybody, then becomes a walking robot shell. It
was a baby Bjorn. It was just like a walking baby Bjorn.
that sprays back in your face. And then back to essentially the nanny droid, which was the best version of that droid.
Yeah, he was like, being the marshal, that's a cool thing, that he, this is what he wants to take care of people. So you've got that nanny part of it, but then he's also, capable of killing a whole bunch of people. So it's like,
That you get the guy who's capable of killing the entire town to be your marshal.
Yeah, absolutely. So I thought that was really cool. That was a really great thing. And then, ending it on just Din Djarin sitting in a chair outside the house and Grogu at the pond,
messing with the frog.
Yeah, just playing with frogs. So and
he didn't try to eat the frog. He actually just threw it back in the water. So
yeah. Which I think also tells us that he's out of his
teething stage.
Yeah, his kid, put everything in your mouth kind of stage that they all go through. And so I think he's grown up too. So I think we see that. And I think that it's important to see certain things like that in him, because he's not gonna grow. Like, he's not gonna get a whole lot bigger. You're not gonna see him physically get more mature. So I think it's kind of cool.
We just need more. Like by the next time we see them in whatever form we see, I promise we're gonna have Grogu like speaking.
It's gonna be swole Grogu. Swole Grogu.
He's gonna be how Groot is like this big giant monster now. Like,
yeah, he's gonna be like, I might be small, but I am mighty.
He's gonna be Royd Groot.
Yeah, Royd Groot. But yeah, no, I think that's exactly what we'll get. I would love to see a season of them doing their adventures, but I really think there's going to be a time jump.
Oh yeah, no, and I mean we need that. We need to see them years later. We need to see Grogu in a position where he is a little more mature, that he can communicate on his own. Like, I would love to see like more of a action oriented thing where, where we first see them, it's like you just see Din like, pursuing somebody, and he just yells over, jump up there and do this, and then you just see in the shadows somebody jump up onto like a thing and just take off running, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then tackle the guy and then have them banter with each other.
Yeah.
Right. So he's like, I told you to cut him off at the pass. Well, if you would have shot him like I told you the first time, you've been getting really mouthy lately, Grogu.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, that would be great. He's like, ever since your voice dropped.
Ever since you got a little bit of sap.
Right.
Oh man. So real quick, what is your rating for this episode? Well, I guess what's your rating for the season overall?
For the season overall, I would probably give it a solid 9. 9 of those little red candies in Grief Karga's office out of 10 Carson Teva looks of disapproval.
I love it. I'm going to give this 9 Marauders in the Sky out of 10 non-marriage proposals that aren't going to happen.
At this point, I don't really care if they do or not. I'm like, I'm kind of over it. But I will die on this hill.
Oh man. You know what hill I'm ready to die on?
I mean, seriously, I'm ready to go to bed.
I'm ready to die on the hill of, we got merch, people. Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen,
I gotta buy some merch at some point.
Yeah, I know, right? But ladies and gentlemen, yes, we have merch. Hats, $35 each or $30 each if you get multiple hats. Galaxy Gray is available. That's the color that we have right now, right there, so you guys can see it. It is that beautiful heather gray Galaxy Gray hat. They are
perfect for the summer.
Exactly. Again, that color grew on me. I originally was just all about the black hat, and then I started wearing the heather gray, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. This matches with more than I thought it would.
Gray is a neutral color, and heather gray is good for lighter stuff. So yeah.
Right. And then on top of that, guys, if you're interested in shirts, let us know. DM us on your social media of choice and let us know that you want a shirt. We've pretty much got all the sizes available right now. $20 if you're local to the Sacramento area, $25 if we got to ship it to you. Now, of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to look into our brand partners out there, Lucharillas, one more time, right here, Lucharillas. Get in on that Lucharillas, guys. Head over to lucharillas.com. Get the Lucharillas shirts, get the Lucharillas bump box, get yourself a Lucharillas bottle opener. There's all kinds of stuff there. Fun stuff, guys. Hang out with the Distance Nerdorilla and put him on your back because he is holding everything up on his shoulders. On
Yes,
those
he
powerful,
is.
powerful silverback ape shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about our schedule. Mondays from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Because I'm trying to do like multiple things at once. From 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. game streams. Yes, right now I'm playing Hogwarts Legacy. Obviously, I didn't play last week because I was in Hawaii. But we will get back down on the game streams, guys. And I get on some Hogwarts Legacy because I definitely want to get back into my time at Hogwarts here. From there, guys, the download, the show that you're watching right now, from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30, or until we finish.
Right.
The show that you're watching right now, news, rumors, trailers, reactions, breakdowns, Easter eggs, everything like that, guys. Come and hang out with us and get all the fun stuff. Now, of course, Thursdays, The Build from 6 to 8 on Twitch, YouTube. Come and hang out with myself as I build Lego kits on stream, and we hang out with all of our nerdy friends and talk about who is gonna win in what battle of the animated MCU persuasion.
We're still doing brackets too.
That's what I was talking about. We're doing best animated Marvel property. So we're going to be getting into that right now. We're doing our brackets. And then this week, speaking of people who are in the MCU, the long-awaited David Chung is going to be on the show, who is in all kinds of Marvel properties. He was in Multiverse of Madness. He was in Wakanda Forever. He was in... God, he's been in all kinds of stuff. But he's also going to be in a couple of upcoming projects that I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say the projects that he's involved in, but he's involved in stuff we're going to be seeing soon in the MCU. So
that's cool, and he won't be able to talk about any of it.
Exactly. Let's ask him. He has been instructed to say, "I don't know what you're talking about." He's also British, and it's kind of sexy. So
British, you say?
Yeah, he's also British.
Maybe I'll open up my Thursday night after all.
Yeah, he's a super ripped dude from Hong Kong, and he has a very heavily London accent. So it's
wow.
Really cool. But yes, so he will be on the show this week, and we will be just kind of nerding out with him. Again, really cool guy. He's been involved in all kinds of stuff. He actually played Tien Shin Han in the only live action Dragon Ball Z thing that's worth watching. Right.
I haven't seen it. I would have to see
it was a fan video, a fan film, but it was really good though. And then he was also in again the only live action Street Fighter that's worth watching, which is the web series that went up, and it's really good. I'll send links inside the group.
Okay. I'm like, I have no idea.
Actually, I'll post some of them. I'll post those on in the Nerdington post so everybody can watch them.
Okay.
But great stuff on there. So that being said, before we sign off here, Frey, give everybody your pluggables. Where can they find you outside of Distance Nerding?
Well, I mean, here Tuesdays. I'm on the Saturday Morning Nerd Out on Kyra Cave Productions. I have my own channel that really just has corgi videos on it, like shorts. It's at Frey Girl. You can get me on Twitter at Frey Girl. On Instagram, I am at Gotham_Oracle. And on TikTok, I am at Gotham.Oracle. So yeah, but that's me. And I do like all the Discords.
Yeah.
Like,
you're the Discord queen.
I'm the Discord queen, which is kind of like the Disco Queen, but cooler. And yeah, and then also when New Rock Stars, I'm over in that Discord all the time. I'm a mod there, and when the break room comes back, I'll be modding for them there too. So there you go. That's me.
Super duper awesome. So guys, have something you want to discuss? Tell us what you're nerding out on, and make sure to let us know in the Facebook group, The Distance Nerdings in Post. Want to do the taco shout out?
Sure. Join the taco party, distancenerding.com.
Right. All you got to do is head over to distancenerding.com, click on that button on the top left, join the taco party.
It's super simple, and you help us out, and we get to do cool things and, you know, actually talk a lot about the Mandalorian mostly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so definitely check it out. And it's a cool site too. There's a lot of other stuff to do besides just, you know, buying us tacos. So
exactly. Now, guys, connect with us at Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, Discord, all at Distance Nerding. Actually, a matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, if you can head over to your podcast listening place of choice and leave us a review. Because, you know, we want to trick the algorithm into thinking that we're actually a good show. So,
right.
You know, head over.
If you like chaos, give us a cool review.
Exactly. Head over to Apple, give us a review. Head over to Spotify, give us a review. Wherever it is that you listen to your podcast, give us a review so that way we know that you enjoy our content, you enjoy our show. And honestly, you know, there's also another way to tell us what you want us to do. If you want to tell us how to improve the show, or you just want to tell us that we suck, by all means, guys, send us an email at distancenerding@aol.com, and we will read it on air. If you say that we suck, we'll read it on air and make sure that we let everybody know what your name is, because that way they can,
absolutely,
you know, send you all the hate mail. But guys,
because we are treasures.
Exactly. People love us.
We are lovable, goddammit.
It's a lie. People don't like us. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, that is it from us. It is now time for the dance party. Of course, thanks, and keep nerding together. It is now.
Oh, yeah.
That
damn it. I missed it again.
No worries. Is that Deadpool?
Yep.
Yes!
Distance nerding.
Pirate pool! Yarr! And I got the lucha pool. We'll see everybody on Thursday. Oh, I hit the wrong button.